All right, and welcome everyone to Totally Online Gaming Group's live stream of our D&D campaign, The Blackest Heart. We're glad that you guys could join us. Sorry if we're a minute late, trying to be on time. But we are here now, and we hope you're here with us. And we hope that this is going to be a fun game for everyone to watch, and I hope it's going to be real fun for my players. We are missing one of our players tonight is sick, unfortunately. Jacob. And Galdor is going to be a little bit late, but he should be joining us before we really get into much of the action of tonight. So hopefully that'll be happening here in not too long, and we'll get him back in with the group here. As far as announcements tonight, as always, got to give a shout out to our sponsor, Critical Hit Gaming Supplies. It's www.criticalhitgamingsupplies, all one word, .com. Make sure you go check them out. They've got a huge selection of awesome dice. And you can see Oak there holding that up for the camera. And Diana too. So they've got awesome selection of dice bags, some dice trays, miniatures, a whole bunch of great stuff. Go check them out. And leave, when you fill out the review of your order, leave a little comment in there that you heard about them from TOGG, and we'd appreciate that. Also, soon, very soon, we will be offering a discount with Critical Hit Gaming Supplies by using a special TOGG code. And we will let you know exactly what that code is when we get that. Hopefully we should have that by next week. So I will make sure to put that out for everyone. Let's see other news. other news. As mentioned last week, we have had the joy and privilege of joining a team on Twitch, Team Spock, or sometimes also called the Spock Nation. Make sure you check out the other members of Team Spock and their streams. They've got some really fun stuff to watch, different kinds of games they're playing. Really enjoyable. I recommend them. And we're just glad to be part of the team. Let's see. Any other announcements? Anybody else have any announcements that they need to make?
Yeah, when did this happen?
You weren't here last week. Okay.
I was late, so I didn't know either.
No.
When did what happen?
The teaming up, I think, on Spock Nation, Team Spock.
Oh.
So one other thing that, just to give you a heads up, that hoping to do is we are, as a stream, which I am pleasantly surprised with, getting very, very close to hitting affiliate status. That would be really cool. We're doing this, at least I started this really just for fun. So if it actually gets to affiliate status, wow, that's kind of neat. But if it does indeed, if we do get to affiliate status, there are some things in the works where we would eventually, potentially, have some TOGG merchandise that is available, as well as in a celebration for getting affiliate status, if we do, I will be doing some giveaways of some wonderful things from Critical Hit Gaming Supplies. Some dice, the ones that my players have, as well as some personalized with the TOGG logo dice bags to go with those. So who knows, if we get there, that would be great, and then we'll go ahead and do that stuff. I want to give you all a heads up about that, just so you know that if you are a fan of the stream, one of our Toglodites, as I like to call them, yes, I know, hey, heads up on that, because if you are a follower and we do get to that level and start doing those giveaways, followers will be the ones who will have the chance to actually win one of those things on a giveaway. I think that's it, unless anybody has anything else cool they want to add.
Also, Jacob may or may not have agreed to your idea.
Oh, the one we talked about?
About the Facebook page. Yeah,
Okay.
for the Facebook page.
Okay. There may or may not. We are still in internal discussions about this. Be some very fun, creative, and interesting self-made, within the group made fanfic of the characters that may show up on the group Facebook page. If that does end up being the case, I will let everyone know that it is indeed there. I have not gotten a chance to read it myself, but I have heard a lot about it. And it sounds really, really fun and interesting. And I got to give a shout out to Diana and Jacob for their creativity. And I hope that they both agree to allow that to happen, because I'd like them to share that with the world. It sounds really enjoyable and fun. So I believe that is actually it this time. Actually, I do have one last shout out. There is on Discord a server called Arn or Arin. I'm not exactly sure how it's pronounced. I need to get back with them on that, actually. It's spelled Arryn. And they are supporters of, they're not sponsors, but they are supporters of what we are doing here on our Twitch channel. And I want to give them a shout out. And hopefully soon we will be kind of partnering with them in some way, shape, or form. We're currently talking about that. But they are a server that deals with a lot of Dungeons and Dragons gaming, as well as like setting up groups, I believe. I may be misspeaking. I will double check on all that and get back to you guys. But yeah, look for their Discord server and send them a message, and you may find a great resource there. And who knows, make some new friends and have a great server to go to. So make sure to check them out. All right, now that is definitely it on my end. So at this point, we will begin The Blackest Heart. All right, we are back. So, to fill everyone in on where we left off last game, the party had been in a dungeon that was called the Hollow, which was actually entered in through a large hollow in the roots of the stump of a very large old tree. In there, they were supposed to find an item of great beauty and bring it back to John the Brown in his home, the Temple, in agreement for him helping them to get out of the Feywild and back home so that they could continue on their journey. Well, they managed to complete their mission, finding quite a bit of treasure on their search through, which very nearly cost Rhea her life, as she took a shot of acid right in her face, but did manage to to survive and make it through. Thankfully, due to some healing on the part of Galder. But they managed to make it out of there and made their way back to the house of John Brown, called the Temple. Once they did so, they saw Amelie, John the Brown's consort, who greeted them and brought them in, and once again met with John the Brown, at which point he said, "Yes, you have brought me a thing of great beauty," which turned out to be a painting of him. He at that point said, "Yes, you have you have lived up to your end of the bargain. You provided us with so many hours of entertainment." And he said, "Yes, why don't you rest for the evening, recover your strength, and I will have everything prepared for you upon your waking, such that you can return home." And that is where we left off, as the party ended up scuttling off to bed and going to sleep and waking up the next morning. And I need to fix your video feed here, Rhea, because it keeps, for whatever reason, keeps popping back in and out.
It does not
To be
want
fair,
to
I think that's
cooperate.
just our camera.
Yeah, it could be. All right. Okay. That is so weird. It is not cooperating. All right. I got a way to quick fix this. So while I am working on this, you guys wake up, and what are you doing?
Well, Oak is immediately, the second they walked in back into that,
Apparently,
around the Browns' place, Oak has immediately just gotten unrationally upset about being back here. He doesn't like...
Doesn't like John, huh?
No, he doesn't like John.
Not your favorite guy in the
Diana
world.
doesn't like him either. Don't feel bad.
He seems annoying.
Seems egotistical.
Exactly. He seems like a bad influence on some of the smaller people in our group.
The babies.
Yes.
Well, Rhea's probably gonna take her handy dandy chalk and, mark up the room with signs of her patron.
Okay. Okay. So
Is this the
This is the two dragon wings on fire. Yes.
Which we thought were actually on fire.
Well, about that. About that. Now that you talked about actually setting it on fire. That's Rhea's idea.
We can set them on fire here, in this place.
Exactly. And
Uh-huh.
that's...
Hey, can we not burn down the place if the only person who can get us home?
We can burn it down just as we're leaving.
Well, we're not burning it down. I'm incarnating.
Do you realize how
I'm
much
just-
we would lose if we fought the Fae?
I'm just simply carving my patron symbol into their house.
Mhm.
I'm not burning it down.
So you're gonna carve a patron symbol into essentially a temple of another patron.
Yes.
And focus.
I don't know
condoning
you
this.
anymore.
Yep. And
I don't know either of you anymore. I don't want to die.
well, and you would know, Oak, because you and Rhea were sharing a room before, and I assume you guys took the same kind of sleeping arrangements you did last time. So I believe that Diana and Jacob were sharing a room. Galdor had found his own place to sleep, and Oak and Rhea were sharing a room. So
Next to an elf.
yes, and Oak and Rhea were sharing a room. So Oak, you'd be, other than Rhea, obviously, the only one to notice, as she has carved in several flaming dragon wings in various locations throughout the room. Some
Oak watches her draw.
Some are like really hidden. Like I'm under the bed carving, so they're not gonna find this for weeks.
In fact, that's what wakes you up, Oak. You hear this scratching noise underneath you. Actually, no, you're sleeping on the floor, right?
Just right
Yeah, he's
next to
sleeping on
him.
the floor.
Oh, okay, yeah, right next to you. You
It's
look
like
over.
right next to his ear. And then Oak sees her drawing, and he's like, "Ooh, can I have a piece of chalk? I want to draw."
I will hand Oak a piece of chalk, and try to assist Oak in drawing the dragon wings.
Well, Oak will try to do that at first, but in the end, he's gonna just end up drawing a couple dicks.
Oh no! Oh no!
No.
Oh no!
I will
She
stop
is.
this.
Oak is
I'm
channeling.
stopping this.
Oak is channeling Jester from Critical Role. Oh my gosh!
You are not drawing dicks next to my patron. So
What?
no.
Okay, then I'll draw them on the other side of the room.
Why is it a trope that every D&D party has a dick drawer? I
You
mean,
can
seriously.
go to a new room. I will not allow you to sully this room, which I have carved with my patron symbol.
I'm sorry, but if you come to Diana's room and you start drawing that, she's gonna correct you on how to draw a proper looking one.
You know what? Oak is gonna go to Diana's room and start drawing
She
dicks
will
on the
literally
wall.
sit down with you. She will sit down with Oak and show him how to draw a proper dick, not just a child version of a dick.
And then Oak will be like, "I have it.
She will get
I
very
really
detailed.
need this information."
Oh my god!
If you're gonna draw it correctly.
I can see. So it's like super detailed now.
Who cares?
You started this, Oak.
She has plenty
I
of
did.
experience to go off of.
And then Oak will leave, and he'll just start drawing it in the hallways.
Eventually, I'm gonna go ask Oak if he still has that rod. I want to test
Rod?
something. Yeah.
Okay, Oak will hand over the rod.
All right. I want to go back into the room
Okay.
and, very, very casually cast firebolt with the rod at one of the symbols. Probably the largest one. Like I probably would have made a really large one on the wall. So on that.
Okay. So
Meanwhile,
you are holding the rod.
can Diana go to get food in the maid hall?
Yeah, you can do that. We'll come to you in a second with that. But yeah, Rhea, you get this rod, and as you hold this rod, you feel the power in it.
Oh, yes.
And you're like, oh yeah, and it feels like your hand just fits perfectly around this thing. It's just comfortable. It's easy. It's only about this long, maybe a good 1.5 feet. No more than 2 feet, but about 1.5 feet, 18 inches or so. And it feels right. It's not very it's very plain looking, but the power you feel in it, it's exhilarating. It's you kind of get all tingly. It's like, ooh, this is nice. And as you cast a firebolt while holding this rod, you feel like some of that power flowed into your magic, merged with it, and you feel like you're holding this. You're a little more accurate. You slam that firebolt dead center into the large symbol of your patron that you have drawn. I mean, it's like a near perfect shot, and it just felt great, and it leaves a scorch mark in the center where it hit, and little flames are kind of licking up the sides of this wooden wall as it against. It's not like a raging inferno. It's like it's spreading out like little flames.
Yeah.
Kind of along the symbol.
As soon as it covers the symbol, I'm gonna cast Gust to stop it.
Okay.
So that it doesn't go outside it.
Okay, and basically what you've created is this large circle with a kind of a scorch mark dead center and like a kind of a crackling look to the surface of the wood as if it's been, slowly burned a little bit, surrounding this carved out image of your patron symbol. It actually looks
My best
real.
work ever.
Yeah,
that's
it looks
awesome.
it looks beautiful. It looks damn good.
All right, I'm ready to go.
Okay, so Diana, you headed out into the main hall.
She's hungry. She doesn't like him, but she's hungry.
Okay. You head out to the main hall, and you hear off to your left, as you're walking down the hall, up ahead through one of an open set of doors. You hear some conversation. You hear the occasional kind of clinking of, sounds like, silverware of some type, or on plates.
Um,
Yes.
can Oak be, if that's the dining room,
Mhm.
can Oak be in it, just like in the back, drawing on the wall?
Sure.
Yay!
Sure.
So now that she knows where the source of everything is, can she, because it's Diana, because she doesn't like this guy and she doesn't trust this guy, it's kind of like a comedic. You see the ears pop around the corner of the door first, and then you see the rest of her face kind of like slowly poke out from the door frame, as if like, I want food, but I don't want to deal with you. So just two little fox ears, and then the rest of her face.
Well, as you do that, what you see in there is indeed a dining room. That's what this is. You see in the dining room, in one corner, Oak with some chalk.
He's not drawing dicks anymore, though.
He's
He's kind of just drawing.
he's just drawing on the wall and just making symbols. And you also see this large table that looks like it could easily seat 12 or more, with high-backed wooden chairs, and there is a spread just laid out on this table. The only other people you see in this room are Galder and Subtle. And
Almost here.
yeah, he's been with you the whole time. And you see them in the room, and they are chowing down. That looks like Rhea's camera is not quite working, so I'm just going to do that for a little while. All right.
She's gonna be a little hesitant, and she's gonna glance around, kind of like, so where's the elf? Because if she can avoid seeing or speaking to the elf, she will. But now she's like on edge, because where is he?
Okay. And this is about perfect timing because we just got our centaur
Yay!
back. So let me make sure his video feed is working properly here. And gotta size it, and then we are all set with you.
Oh no, I still need to warn you. Crap.
Message him.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, good deal. Now we've got everyone here who is here tonight, so good deal. Okay, so perfect timing. As if you remember from last week, Galdor, you guys had returned to John the Brown's home, the temple, and took rest for the night. And he was going to get everything set up so that after you woke up, you could be sent home, as he had agreed. The others have woken up and done things, and you are currently in the dining room eating, as well as Subtle is in there with you. And John the Brown and his consort Amelie are not in there. They had been in there a little bit earlier with you, had finished eating, bid you adieu as John the Brown had to finalize some preparations for the ritual to send you home. And as you are there, Oak has walked into the dining room, began to draw stuff on the wall with chalk, and only just like a minute or two after that, Diana has kind of poked her head around the corner and sees you and Subtle in there enjoying this huge spread on the large table, and Oak in the corner drawing on the wall.
And she's very obviously very skeptical and wondering where did the elves go. Because where is the gold one and where is the goblin?
Don't know if you should call my betrothed that. They don't know it yet, but don't worry.
Which
they
one
went off
is
to
who?
prepare. Well, the golden one is, John. And I'm assuming the goblin is,
Oh no, I got that one. I got that, but I meant who was your is the betrothed both of them?
Yeah, both
or
of
just
them.
yeah.
I mean, isn't that normal?
Yes, and now we learned that centaurs are polyamorous.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
I'm exploring my oats. Why limit myself?
exactly.
It's all
But
about
yeah,
taste.
no, Diana would eventually address Galder and be like, where are the creepy elves?
They went off to prepare our way home. We should do our best to thank them as much as we can every time we see them.
They're creepy. I don't trust them.
What's creepy to you is it's true love to me.
Says the horse.
Says the fox. Yeah, what now?
At least
I'm
I'm small and
lost.
cute.
I've learned new things in my life. So yeah, I guess we are free to do whatever we would like until it's time to peace
Did
out.
they say that specifically?
Not really, but I feel like I'm safe.
Because there was some instruments in a room I saw earlier that I don't think they'll miss.
Oh yeah, no, don't steal from my future companions.
They have
Companions.
bagpipes.
Lovers. Oh.
Oak is drawing one of those pictures
I
that
kinda
have
want the
the
bagpipes.
hidden dick in them.
Okay, I don't know if they're facing their property.
So
I mean,
yeah, that's what
do
Oak
you
is doing.
want? It's not
Well,
nice.
since she doesn't know where the elves are and she doesn't really want to hear about the continuous betrothedness and merry elves, that she's just gonna go wander around the entire fucking castle.
Yeah, eat some food or something. Bye. It's a bit rude that she just.
She will literally just wander with no direction on where she's going and not paying enough attention to see how to get back.
Oh. Bye forever then. Wait.
Because she's curious, and when foxes are curious, they find everything.
Didn't. So John was watching the whole entire time, right?
Yes, he has been watching the entire time. But he is not in.
That's not
I thought he
creepy.
wasn't in the room.
No, he's not in.
Yeah,
he's not in the room, but he kind of knows what goes.
He knows when you're sleeping. He knows
he-
when you're awake, and he knows if you're bad or good.
He knows what goes on in his house.
Santa is a winter fae.
Yeah, so Diana's just gonna wander around aimlessly. She's just gonna poke in her, like, look at some rooms, look at some stuff, not really paying attention to where she's going.
All right.
I kind of want to go gloat to him though, about how triumphant I was. But I guess I'll just have to deal for now. I guess I'll ask good old Oak over there. Why are you drawing all these things?
Because Rhea was drawing on the walls in her room, and
Oh
she
God.
wouldn't let me draw anything on the walls in there. So
So we're all just defacing stuff now. Okay.
yeah. And then I went to Diana's room, and she got really specific on how I should draw stuff, and I couldn't handle it, so I left. And then I just kind of wandered into here.
I mean, let's not draw on the walls. Like, you know, let's go ahead and group everyone together. Maybe we should have like a family talk
About what?
about like where we're gonna go from here. You know.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the ocean place.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But I mean, we need to have like
And we're gonna find the goddamn horses when we get back.
See, we don't have a plan. Like, what? Once I would have just went off to the ocean place. You're gonna go off find horses. Yeah, we gotta work together.
Make sure the dog's still there.
Yeah, like we have a lot to do. We have a lot to discuss. We need to come up with an itinerary for when we get back to the mortal plane.
Meanwhile, Diana doesn't know any of this because she left.
So,
All right. And while you guys are having that conversation, Amelie comes back into the dining room
I love.
and looks at Subtle, Galder, and Oak in the corner. She kind of, almost like a puppy dog, tilts her head and kind of looks quizzically at what you are doing. Then just kind of shakes her head a little bit.
with the drawing that Oak is doing, you know, the one with the hidden dick.
Mhm.
Oak has made sure to actually kind of carve the dick into the wall, so that when they erase all the chocolate, the dick is still there.
Okay.
I love that.
This is not okay.
All right. So, you know what? I want you to give me a performance check to see how well your artistry is done and how well you hide this dick.
13.
Not bad.
Hey, since
Not
Diana
bad.
tried to teach him earlier how to draw it properly, can he get the bonus?
No advantage, but it's detailed. It's a very detailed dick drawing. The performance check was really to see not just how well you do with your art, but how well you hide the dick within the art that you're trying to make. It's not bad.
Calder's just like, I hate all of you.
You're pretty pleased with it. You think it's a job well done. Then Amelie just kind of shakes her head a little bit, rolls her eyes, and says, "You should all gather your companions. The ritual is ready."
Oh, I am.
Diana is
Hurts to leave, but
somewhere.
Melora needs my presence somewhere else. I'll come back soon.
And we will be waiting
I'm sorry,
for
but
you.
at some point can Diana be looking around and accidentally knock a vase or something off a pedestal with her tail?
Sure.
Because
You hear a crash in the background, something breaking. Oak and Galdor and Settle.
I think I know where one of our companions are.
Ray, I assume you're still upstairs in the room.
I would have moved on to a different room to expand the.
The artwork.
Gotta duplicate it, you know? That was my best work. Gonna see if I can replicate it, you know?
Okay. Well, you're
meanwhile, Diana's
you've been doing
trying to like gather the...
you've been doing this. Basically, you finished up in yours and Oak's room that you were in, and you have moved on to another room, and it's, you're taking your time. So basically,
Specifically, not Diana and Jacob's room because Oak was in there and drew a picture of dicks.
okay. So
That
you've
Diana helped with.
you found another room, and you are, just going to work on it, and you're taking your time because you're wanting to try to duplicate what you did before because it was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's basically what you're spending your time on while the rest of this is going on. So
Yeah.
okay, so yes, you guys hear in the hall, and you kind of hear as well, Rhea. You hear something break, but it's off in the distance because you're farther away.
And Diana's just like, and just like tries to collect the pieces and just sweeps them under a nearby rug to try and find it. And then just walks away very, very quickly to a different part of the area.
Oak will go and look for Diana, and he will accidentally step on that part of the rug.
So just crunch.
Yep. You hear as you step on a lumpy portion of the runner that's going through the main hallway. You notice an empty stand, like almost like a nice little decorative small end table that looks like something should be on it, but there's nothing there. And as you're walking past it, you hear crunch as you step on this lumpy portion, and you hear some more cracking, breaking sound. Huh. All right, Galder, what are you doing?
And then Oak will look up the...
Oh, no, go ahead, Oak.
Oak will lift up his foot, look at it, and be like, well, I hope there weren't any more tiny people. And I crushed it.
Throw back to the market, okay.
Tiny people.
All right, Galder.
And then he'll just keep walking.
Galder, what are you doing?
I'm on the hunt for all my teammates.
Okay.
Freya would be the easiest to find first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you, Oak, you eventually find Diana.
Oh, I was actually gonna ask, if I could find, like, the room with the instruments and just start playing some.
Right about the time you walk into there and start playing, Oak, you find Diana, like, not even 2 minutes after that, because you heard music and you followed the sound of that, and sure enough, there's Diana, just playing away on she's like trying out a couple different ones in there, and she's good, it's pretty, but you're like, okay, found her.
Hey Diana,
She just cut out really
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, you were cutting out really bad there, Oak.
Oh.
Oh.
Diana, it's just, am I still cutting out? What?
You're good.
Yeah, you're sounding okay now.
What just happened? Okay. Diana, it's time for us to go. They've got the whole thing set up for us.
Yeah, just give me a few minutes, because some of these it's hard to find these, so give me a minute. and she'll go back to some other instruments, because there are some that you just can't get your hands on. So she really wants to play these while she can. You're gonna have to pry it out of her cold dead hand. Okay.
Do you want me to help you put those in the bag of holding?
Collect as many as you can. Just grab one of everything.
He starts picking up instruments.
She'll just open the bag and help them get them into the bag of holding, just like one of everything that they can find.
Yep.
And at one point she'll look at the piano and then look at Oak and just like seem sad for a moment because the piano won't fit.
No, it has to be able to get past the opening of the bag, which gets no bigger than about this.
So she's like,
try to pick it up and put it in the bag, but
it's like it's not gonna fit.
But you want
So
it.
at that point, I feel like she would have ended up taking a good half of the instruments that are in that room.
Oh yeah. Yes, she does. While that's
And then
occurring,
she'll just close the bag, she'll just close the bag, put it back on her waist, and go, "Okay, we can leave." And I have no idea
then
what she grabbed.
while that's
Find the
occurring,
others.
She just took one of everything.
yep. While that's occurring, Galder, you find Rhea in. It looks like a study type room, and she is being very intricate and detailed in the drawing of her patron symbol.
Well, I'm also gonna set him on fire again because the crackling was really cool.
God.
Just as you walk in, that's what she does.
I'm doing firebolt onto the symbol.
Ray, it's time to go home. I know you've been dying to go home. Let's stop drawing all over my future house.
Mention the dog and she'll leave.
The dog's in my backpack.
Yeah.
Back to the
I thought the
warm
dog was with the horses.
Nope.
No.
Nightmares with her.
No,
Oh.
I trained him
They
last
share a
night.
sack.
We share a sack.
Okay.
That's not weird.
Well, he's tiny. I don't want him to run away.
All right, so Galder, you came across Rhea.
So,
You gotta wait for the embers to reach the edge. So it's perfect.
I don't think we have to wait. We need to go. Remember, you want to be warm? Or are you good now?
Oh, I feel fine.
Oh, then I mean, we can just stay here for all I care. I'm
I have my
perfectly fine
patron
here.
now.
Oh, look at it. We both found ourselves in the Fae.
And once it reaches the edges, I'll gust and be like, all right, I'm ready to go.
All right, so eventually, you guys all managed to make your way back into the main audience chamber, if you will, of the temple, where you see Amelie and John the Brown, and he says, good. Are you ready now?
No, but yes.
Yeah.
Let's
I'm
do it.
good. Let's go. We can leave.
Okay.
That
And
moves.
And as you, he kind of waves towards you and beckons you forward, steps around behind the throne-like chair that is on the dais to the wall behind it, places his hand on the stone, and you see a kind of a glowing outline of a door appear for a second, and then the stone silently kind of slides out of the way, and an opening appears, which opens up into what looks like the outside. He steps through and says, right this way.
Diana's just gonna remain calm and just walk.
Okay.
Kind of. She's just happy she got all those instruments, okay?
Oh, we'll follow
has-
after.
There's a lot of new toys.
Focus following her.
So
Okay.
she's happy now. She's in a great mood.
Freya will walk through too.
All right. So you guys all follow through the doorway, and it does indeed lead to what looks like an enclosed garden that is open to the sky. Once again, this eternal twilight almost of, just kind of on the dusk, at dusk, just before it gets dark. But you walk out there, and this garden is gorgeous. It is absolutely beautiful. And at the far end of the garden, you see this archway, which is made out of living vines, all wrapped together. And it's about the size of a large pair of double doors. And as he continues to walk forward and you follow behind him, he gets to right in front of this archway, looks over at Amelie, and says, "Are you ready?" She says, "Yes, of course." And she begins to mutter arcane words and move her hands around in what those of you who cast magic know to be the gestures and words of some form of spell. After almost 10 minutes of standing there watching this, finally what this archway has, it just kind of looking further into the back of the garden, it now looks a shimmering blue across it on the inside that you cannot see through, but looks almost like a whirlpool, like a water and blue whirlpool that is flat in this archway. And John the Brown says, "You may now go. Thank you again for the entertainment and my gift, which you returned to me. Unfortunately,
TOGG isn't listening. He just walks right through.
That's fine.
Diana's just gonna bolt after him.
Okay. And he looks at Rhea, Galder, and Subtle, and says, "Unfortunately, one of you must stay."
Oh God!
And Subtle steps forward and says, "As per our agreement, which we talked about before, I am your man."
I should be the man.
And John the Brown, do you say that out loud or whisper it even?
Yeah, I would have whispered it.
Okay.
I don't think I would have just shouted that out loud.
Okay. Hold on, let me.
Well, now I feel.
Oh
bad
yeah,
leaving early.
I know.
he's close enough. He heard you,
Oh,
and he looks at you and he smiles and he says, "You have other things to do for now, but you are always welcome. You are always welcome back here."
oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna come back.
Something's gonna come, alright.
he reaches into a small pouch at his side, and he pulls out what looks to be a leaf that is made out of silver, and he hands it to you, and he says, "If you would keep this token, you may use it to come visit. But I pray only use it when you are ready, for the magic in it is
After we're gone.
the magic in it is unstable and may not last more than once or twice. But it should guide you here as opposed to somewhere else within the wild."
I will bow and take the leaf. Thank you. You have graced me. You want a shroom?
You want a shroom?
He says, "I see your ancestry has not left you without the customs." He holds his hand out.
I place a shroom in his hand.
He takes it gratefully, eats it,
Oh, God,
Bow-
a tear rolled down my cheek.
bows to you, a nice, respectful, but not subservient bow.
Bow too low.
and then
I'm not gonna be psychoanalyzing this.
waves his hand towards the portal, looks at Rhea and Galder and says, "If you wish to return home, now is the time."
I'm so confused.
Rhea,
And then as Rhea
no,
just starts
no.
walking away, she's like,
She's
I don't know
here.
what the fuck I just witnessed. There was an exchange of a leaf and a shroom, and they bowed, and like, it seems
There's some
significant.
sexual
And I
tension.
don't know why. So yeah, Reyes is gonna walk out, just like, what the fuck happened? I don't understand.
So you walk through
Like,
the
why
portal,
do they
Rhea?
seem sad? Yeah.
Okay.
I'll wave goodbye to Amelie, and I'll look back at Subtle before I exit and say, goodbye, friend, and I'll walk through. I didn't want to hear his reply.
He just nods
Too
his
much.
head.
My heart.
As you enter through the threshold of this portal, Oak and Diana, as you first come through there, you are blinded by bright sunlight that is reflecting
The horses.
off of sand as far as the eye can see.
Oh
The horses.
god.
I spent so much money
Dunes.
on those horses.
Dunes rising along the horizon, and this extreme heat that it just hits you from the kind of non-intrusive temperature of the Feywild into what feels almost like an oven. It is hot and just it's almost exhausting being just for moments being in this heat.
Oh, he sent me right where
As
I
soon as Oak
wanted to be.
notices, as soon as Oak
That's only
notices
me and
that he-
Oak.
Oh, hold on. Oak, go ahead.
As soon as Oak notices that he's nowhere near the horses, he's gonna lay on the ground. He's gonna start crying.
Okay. Now,
He's very sad.
Rhea, you are next through the portal after Diana. You see Diana standing there looking around. Oak on the ground just bawling. And then just a moment or two later, Galder, you come through, and that is also what you see.
Interesting.
And Diana's just gonna stand there and go like, "Do you think this is because of what I took?"
You stole.
Wait, you
I
took
didn't
things from him?
Steal?
Why would you
I
take
didn't
things?
steal. I borrowed.
Don't you know it's bad to take
Indefinitely.
things from people?
Yeah.
Pot kettle black?
What are you talking about?
Don't even act innocent.
Oh no! I forgot to return the book. Ah, that's what she meant.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
God.
How dare you not return that book?
Hey,
There.
hey, Oak. Hey, Oak. I need you to look up for a single second, okay?
Oak looks up.
I
his
will
eyes are
throw
red
my
and he's
rod as
crying.
far as I can, and then cast Gust to push it even further.
What if
And
you
then
lose it in the sand?
I'm gonna tell Oak to go get it.
What if he doesn't find it in the sand?
He'll find it.
I cast
I
guidance.
don't think he'll
on
find it.
He'll find it.
I don't think he will.
Mm-mm. He's not gonna find it.
It's just a rod.
Oak, you see
No,
this.
because he's not getting.
Oh.
Oak,
He doesn't get him.
you see a shiny metal stick fly past you, and go about a good 30 feet away and land in a sand dune.
Yeah, Oak will just be like, "Do I have to go get it?"
No, Oak,
Fine.
you don't have to go get it.
Fine. I'm gonna like begrudgingly walk over there, just like very like.
You mean
can't
waddle
believe
because
this.
of how short you are and how hard it is to walk in sand? Galder's gonna have an even harder time. Horses cannot walk in sand easily.
You know what? How long can I wild shape? I don't want to live like this anymore.
Now,
I'll go retrieve my rod.
Now-
Oak doesn't want to play fetch.
since you
Hours.
did have a night, an overnight there, and I kind of already dealt with this. All of the items that you had found, Jacob would have taken the time to do ritual castings of Identify on them to check them out. So, right now, Diana, you have that bag of holding, which you know what that is. Oak, you have a potion of stone giant strength. Rhea, you have that rod that you
The
know,
pact.
is a rod of the Pact +1.
Okay, seriously consider
And-
drinking that potion and chucking Jacob as far as he can.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know why Jacob specifically. But
Because he's not here to defend himself.
probably.
He's a lightweight.
Jacob had found a second level spell scroll of Ray of Enfeeblement. And then there was the item that, unless you have handed it off, Rhea, you are still currently holding.
I'm still currently holding it.
Did you let Jacob cast Identify on it?
I probably wouldn't have. No.
Okay. Did you
Not
try?
yet.
Did you try to attune to it?
No, I wouldn't have tried to attune
Okay.
to it.
All right. So that is what you currently have. In addition to any other items which you had before, like Rhea, you had that moon-touched dagger.
Yeah.
And you guys also, if you may have forgotten, but you have a rope of mending. You also have the items that you had with you before.
Who has that?
That's in someone's backpack. Who actually has it? I'm not sure which one of you is carrying it, but that's in someone's backpack, as well as Galder. You have your shield of expression, and those things you have. And Diana, you have that
Harp of illusion.
harp of illusion. So
After I retrieve my rod and get back to the group,
Oka's
I'm
laying
gonna-
face down in the sand, by the way.
I'm gonna go up to Galdor and I'm gonna be like, "So, I think I might have found something that would interest you."
I don't think that rod's interesting.
Oh no, not that! And I'm gonna pull out the Melora leather arm bracelets.
yeah,
By Malora's name?
As you go country.
Are the armbands of Melora's? Yeah, the armbands of Melora.
mm-hmm. Yeah. You don't know what they are. You just know they're.
I don't know what they are.
Yeah.
But so I'm gonna hold them up and be like, these. I feel like these would be special to you,
Mm-hmm.
and like I did find them, but I would be willing to give them to you, and we could just say you owe me or something. Maybe like a favor later on.
Oh, someone's salty about what she learned.
Actually, I don't know that.
How do you not know that? You were there for it.
I
Just
don't
so
speak that
vague.
language.
Oh,
This
I
has
figured
nothing
Jacob and I
to
would
do
have,
with
like-
that.
I figured Jacob and I would have told everybody at some point.
If you told me,
Years.
this would be going completely differently.
Oh, I thought we told you.
Nope,
My bad.
No one said anything. I
no
would've
one has said
cursed
anything.
y'all.
So, yeah,
Diana still would have said the comment about someone salty.
I would have just been
About
confused
before.
and blew it off.
Seems that someone has spent too much time in the Feywild.
Yeah, they're learning the habits and customs of the Fae, I guess.
I mean, if you don't want them, I'm sure I could sell them for a good price.
Okay, that's a little bit too low there.
Rhea, don't be
fine.
an ass.
You can.
Don't be an ass.
You can ask a favor of me.
Cool, and I'll hand over the arm bracers.
Okay.
I will
You know,
press
for a
them to
child,
my
you're a
chest.
manipulative little shit.
Yeah.
You're just now finding this out.
Oh no, now I just want to bury you in the sand and make sure you can't get out.
Me.
Why? I thought Diana likes Rhea.
When she does things like that, no, she doesn't. If you know something would hold a lot of meaning to somebody and you purposely manipulate them to get something that you want,
I mean, I'm just saying that, he owes
No.
me, and that, like, maybe later on he could
No.
remember that.
nope, that's not how she sees it. You purposely manipulated him by holding something that he would have cherished against him.
I'm gonna press these armbands to my chest.
Okay. As you're holding them to your chest, and you're kind of looking at them, you notice it's a simple leather, but the symbol of Melora that is on these is extremely well done. I mean, it is the lines are crisp and clear, and they seem to stand out. And you feel like this, just holding them close to you, this kind of calm, almost like the presence of Melora, and on a muted level. And you feel like if you took your time with these and meditated with them, that you would be able to attune to these things and learn their secrets.
Oh, I waste no time. I get down and I start meditating. I start eating so many shrooms.
Okay.
Just like I'm gonna become normal
Meanwhile,
forever.
Oak is still in a fetal position. He's crying,
Okay.
and he's still miserable. He's so upset that they lost the horses. He is so
Diana's
upset.
just kind of like, hey, so has the portal behind them already, like, gone and vanished?
Oh yeah, as soon as Galder stepped through, it
Okay.
went zoop. You are just every direction you look is sand.
And Diana's just gonna stand here and go, I could test out one of my new instruments to pass the time that I totally didn't acquire illegally.
I'm gonna look around and
all.
see if, like, there's anything but sand.
I just want Bean. He was the only one who understood me.
What sucks is because Jacob isn't here tonight, he's the only one that has a teleportation spell.
Oh,
Yeah, so can I look around, see if there's anything?
As you
Diana's just gonna start, like, digging through her bag of holding, trying to find, like, a new instrument to use. Out
as
of the who knows how many she grabbed.
as you look around, I mean, it just seems to be all this sand dunes rising and falling for pretty much as far as you can see. In one direction, however, which you don't know which direction it is, but in one direction you do see way on the horizon, it looks like maybe mountains.
Hey, Oak, you like mountains, right?
Mhm.
There's some mountains over there.
Hey, quick question, guys.
You wanna go to the mountains?
Hey, quick question, guys. What time is it?
8?
Actual time or game time?
No, like, in the game. Like,
No.
Diana asking, does anybody know what time it is?
I'm too busy meditating.
Anyone who is proficient in survival and wants to figure out what time it is, you may roll survival.
Oak doesn't care.
Okay.
Why can't I be proficient?
Oak, mountains.
Okay, the reason I ask is because if I know what time it is, I can tell you which direction is what based on sun thing that literally everybody knows.
Well,
Because, the sun rises and falls just from east to west.
how do you know that happens this way in this game world?
Oh god, that's so scary.
Because it's literal, like, physics.
But
Regardless
like,
of magic?
not follow the laws of physics.
Mm-hmm.
And you said yourself in a previous episode that there was moss growing on the north side of something, which means it still follows the same pattern.
Maybe.
But
It's magical moss.
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
Still stands. Moss only grows on the north side of things if the sun is following the same east to west pattern.
All right. Well, you see moss on one side of Galder.
Ha ha ha.
So apparently, that's north. No, I'm just joking. You do notice
My
that
delusion.
If you pester Oak enough, Oak will check to see what direction or what time it is.
Okay. Go ahead and roll, Oak.
$18.
Yeah, judging by the sun, which you're guessing, you're not quite sure at this time if it is rising or setting. You're pretty sure it seems to be setting. And as if you sit there and watch it for a while, you're positive that it's setting, but it is just on the setting side of noon. So maybe you're estimating 1 o'clock, 1:30, so somewhere like that. And looking at that, you figure that, okay, north is this way, south's that way, east is that way, west is that way. So you're pretty confident that you know the directions and about what time it is.
So which
Would-
direction are the mountains?
Mountains are to the east.
Would Oak...
That feels like we'd be backtracking.
I'm totally metagaming right now, but I have the map open. You know where we are?
I mean,
You little
we
trickster.
Hey, now.
probably bought a map at some point.
Yeah.
This is probably
Would
dumb.
Oak know where a desert might be on this continent?
There, you may know. I would say you have. Remember, though, this is a fantasy world.
Oh,
And
yeah.
So maps.
I'm not saying he like,
yeah.
knows.
Oh no.
where it is,
I'm just
but
saying
he
like
knows of it.
right. But I'm saying like maps. While you will have, like specific regions might be extremely well documented in maps. Other areas are not as much, especially considering, unlike, the real world, there are some crazy dangers in the fantasy world that, yeah, people just don't go to certain places at all. They don't have the benefit of things like a helicopter to keep them away from the, rabid wolves and bears.
Yeah, maybe the dragons.
Yeah, and dragons. They don't have machine guns and stuff like that. No, but there are just some places that people won't go or just aren't mapped as thoroughly. So even if you do have a map of the continent, there's not it's not
100% certainty.
yeah, it's not supremely detailed, nor is it 100% accurate. But based on what you do, I will say that you guys would have purchased a general map, to get an idea. It looks like there could be some, maybe some desert area, possibly up in the wildlands to the east of the continent, actually off of the main continent, on a smaller subcontinent, as well as a large desert to the far west.
Would it be possible for you to put us on that screen on Roll20?
Maybe.
Also, question:
Just so I can see
can
what you're talking
Diana, I know it's really really hot right now, but can Diana use her ice magic to push herself up on a high pillar to get a better bird's eye view, since Prim isn't actually active at the moment?
I don't know if you have any spell that would actually conjure something like that. But remember, as has been mentioned before, that even though a character isn't, the player isn't here, their character is still with you, kind of in a stasis. So simple things like that, like, hey, can we get a bird's eye view of the situation, so to speak? Well, Jacob and Prim are still there. So, yes, they can give you a view.
Okay.
So,
Because
if you ask him to do that, Prim flies up and kind of circles around in the air a bit and comes back down, and Jacob is kind of narrates what is being seen, and he says that Looks like we are pretty well and truly fucked. The only thing I see is, it seems, as Oak pointed out, to the east there, seem to be some mountains, and the only other thing I saw is quite possibly a bit to the south. I'm not quite sure. It seemed a distance off, but it may have been some more smaller rock formations, or potentially some greenery. It's hard to tell from this distance, and I can't send Hrim too far.
I know where we are on the map, guys.
I say go for the stone pillar thingies. So do I.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I figured it out too.
Hey, Oak. If we get to the
Yeah?
mountains, do you think we can survive there?
I mean, I guess.
I was gonna say we should go towards the stone pillars. That might be an actual, somewhere to take shelter, as opposed to who knows how many days hikes towards a mountain.
Hey, Oak, how many days
Because
do you
if we
think it would
stay
take
in
to get
this-
to that mountain?
If we stay in this heat, we're all gonna burn and blister, and it's not gonna be fun. I can keep myself cool because of my magic, but the rest of y'all are fucked.
Whoa, whoa.
I don't know what
whoa,
you're talking
whoa,
about.
whoa.
I
Yeah,
like this heat.
Yeah, I
This
can
is-
cast spells.
I love heat. Are you kidding me?
I'm pretty sure I can learn shape water. Give me a second. Let me check my inventory. Oh, there it is. Oh, I can't learn that right now.
I still say we should go for the stone pillars. It seems like
Where
it's
were the
closer
stone pillars?
compared.
I mean, I
Maybe
can
to the
cast
south.
Storm.
Yeah, it's
But,
some.
Like, it could have just been rock formations.
Okay. Then
I can cast Tidal Wave.
why don't we just walk southeast?
Just surf our way there.
Yeah, just let's surf our way there, guys. True walking.
Well, I
Let's
do have Gust.
Let's
Yeah,
walk southeast.
we'll combine Tidal Wave and Gust.
Let's walk southeast, and if we get to the rock formations first or the mountains first, we'll decide what to do then.
Okay. I'm still gonna meditate though. Can I get like another 24 hours?
You only need an
I'm
hour.
just testing
You only
the
need
thought
You only need an hour. If you guys
I will leave you here.
if you guys spend an hour there, then you will feel attuned to the armbands.
I don't want to wait an hour.
Neither do I.
Don't be
I don't do
fetched.
well in heat.
Cool yourself off. I haven't heard from my goddess in forever.
I don't care.
See if I heal your busted self.
I can heal myself.
I'm about to cast infestation on you.
You do it. You can catch up. You're a horse. You can go faster. It won't take you long to catch up to us.
I'm pretty sure I can turn into a flying animal, so I don't think I can.
So you're fine. You can just catch up.
Dang, I can turn
But
into a
I
swimming.
can't do heat. I specifically can't do heat. Like, no, realistically though, Diana cannot stay in heat for too long. She will start to take damage.
Then go. Nobody wants you here anymore.
That's a bit drastic, Pony Man.
Yeah, I like Diana.
That didn't
They
mean
play good
that.
music.
But no, realistically, it like out of character though, if she stays in the heat for too long, she
Yeah.
will start to take damage because she's purposely accustomed
Oh, I know.
to icy temperatures,
I
not
know.
desert.
Yeah, I know.
Which direction
So
are we
she's
going?
We're
Yeah.
going southeast.
Southeast.
Alright, Ray is gonna start walking southeast.
Okay.
I'm just praying.
Well, you can pray. You're
You
getting
can
left
get up,
behind.
I'm
All right.
going.
Galder, how about once we stop for the night, you deal with those? You'll have plenty of time then.
Otherwise, we're just leaving you here.
I will stab you in the neck.
That's a little drastic. I was gonna pull a low blow, but now you're threatening to stab me in the neck. Which I was gonna say, let's go ahead and think about your lost horses. But you know what? Sure. Galdor will walk ahead of everyone, just staring back at them angrily.
All right. So you guys eventually are kind of heading southeast, and as you are walking that direction, I need each one of you to make a Constitution save.
See, we would have just sat there. We wouldn't have done this.
Oh, fuck me. And I get disadvantage because of the thingy, don't I?
Yep, you do.
Galdor, where'd you? Oh, there you are.
Mm-hmm. So.
I got a 5.
Mm-hmm.
Constitution.
I only got an 8. What
All
the
right.
hell?
So, Rhea and Diana, both of you suffer 1 point of exhaustion.
I don't know how to
Yes.
factor that in.
It just kind of keep track of it on the side. Really, what exhaustion does is, at 1 point of exhaustion, you basically have I believe it's a -2 penalty to attacks, and saves and skill checks. I think once you've rested, then you get, you're no longer exhausted. But there's different effects for the different levels.
It tells
it's-
you on D&D Beyond.
Yeah,
It's
you
actually disadvantage. on ability
There we
checks.
go. There we go. I was just
And
trying
then
to
on the
look it
second
up.
level, your speed attacked.
Yeah, I was just trying to look it up myself just to make sure, but you beat me to it. But yeah, like each level of exhaustion is, consecutively worse, and 6 levels of exhaustion, I believe, is death.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right there. Oh god.
Yep.
And
So-
Diana is stuck in an area where she constantly is disadvantaged with any of this.
Yep.
That's why we're trying to get out of here. We're
Yeah.
moving.
So that was
Yeah,
that
the
was
longer
basically for you guys traveling from the current time up until evening. Okay, as the sun finally sets below the horizon, and the temperature starts to drop off rather quickly once the sun has set. And in fact, it gets down pretty cold.
coldness for the win.
So you still, if
Yeah,
you
deserts can get below 0.
you still have that point of exhaustion if you failed to save. It doesn't just revert because the temperature dropped, but you don't have to worry about gaining any more at this point. For tonight, at least.
Hey.
Okay.
Oh look, now it's more favorable to you,
coolness
so I
for the
bet you're all
win.
happy now.
And as long as you
I
get
hear from Alora.
I don't like heat.
And as long as you get a long rest, a good long rest, then you can recover exhaustion.
What are we closer to now, though? The stone thing, or
Well, if you ask Jacob to send Hrim up again, you might be able to get a view of that.
my favorite little owl?
All right. So I assume you ask him to do that?
Yep.
Okay, so you go ahead and, Jacob goes ahead and sends Hrim up again, and he goes up, circles around, kind of looking around, and Jacob is narrating, and he says, "Well, it appears we are closer to the stone formation, and I'm pretty sure I can see what look to be some trees of some kind."
Can we go that way now, please?
Yes.
Well, we should probably set up camp at some point so we can
Hence why we're
sleep.
going that way.
Let's
Well-
sleep
well,
tonight first.
How far away is it?
Yeah, Yeah.
He
how
is
far away
he is not sure. It's hard to judge
Yeah,
the
because she
distance
can't
here.
About if he had to give an estimate.
I don't know. Maybe several hours? Judging by, I think, where we started and here, judging
Well,
there, yes, maybe
does
several
he have
hours,
that
maybe at least a day or two.
ability?
He has keen mind, which means he remembers things that he has learned or experienced. It doesn't mean he
Okay.
knows everything. It just means
I'm
he
old.
remembers,
I'm
he
old.
recalls. It's like having a photographic memory. So he
He's
remembers.
computer brain.
Yeah, he's
Hey,
computer
quick
brain, but he's not necessarily loaded with
Um,
all the software for things he hasn't dealt with.
He's not booted up.
Yeah.
So I have to ask: is it like a flat walk towards this, or is it kind of like going down the dunes?
You are going up and down over dunes the whole way. And it is kind of slow going.
Gouger's gonna lay down.
I'm
I cannot sleep in
exhausted.
sand,
I'm
so
exhausted.
Take out a bedroll.
Honestly.
You'll
Mhm.
be okay.
You
there's still sand.
you do have with you your backpacks that you would normally carry stuff with, which means that you do have your bed rolls and your standard tools and things like that. What you don't have is your tents themselves. You don't have all of the rations and water and things like that you had, or additional supplies you needed for the journey to Oceanica. All that stuff was on the horses.
So we don't have any food or water on us?
You have maybe a day's worth of rations, food and water, but that's about it.
Hey,
Oak
quick
can find
question. I have a question.
Okay, hold on.
So,
Oak, hold
if-
on. Oak was saying something first, real quick.
Oak can find food and water, if it's available around. I'm not sure if it is, but he can at least find his food.
Yeah, that is the advantage of your survival. All right, Diana, what were you going to say?
So, hypothetically speaking, if they stay out of her way, could Diana use hail and just do a long path of frozen ice and then chip some off and have Sarah melt it down to water to drink? Hypothetically speaking.
You know what? That is a very creative use of the spell. I'm going to give you a point of inspiration for that. And if you remember how I do inspiration,
I'm up to 2.
Yep. Save those up because that can kind of buy you some little boons later on. But that's a point of inspiration, and I would say you would be able to do that. However, the hail spell is a
Level 1.
first level spell, so you'd only be able to do that 4 times before you ran out of first level slots. I mean.
Yeah, but it's also like a 20-foot long thing, so
Right.
they could
Right.
get a good amount into water skins and whatnot.
Well, here's the deal. You only have like 1 water skin each, and a 20-foot area in the middle of a desert. Some of that is going to melt and soak into the sand before you get it. So,
yeah.
So if you use all 4 of your first level spell slots, then I would say you would be able to get enough water to supply 4 of you. And remember, Jacob is still with you. But to be able to supply 4 of you adequately for a day. Or all of you, including Jacob, the water needs of Harim, the water needs of Nightmare, a little bit less. In other words, you will still get water, but you will start to feel the effects of dehydration if you don't get more water later on, like a sufficient amount. It's not going to affect you right away, but if you have multiple days of that, then it could.
So
You guys have. I'm a druid. I can change my spells when I go to sleep and I wake up the next. I can literally just get create water and good berry, and then we're good. And I can just burn spell slots as we go, because I can create 10 gallons of water, and then good berry. Eating one of the berries lasts for a whole entire day of nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
so could she use just one spell slot tonight and at least give everybody enough water for tonight?
I would say yes, and then you could let Galdor deal with the creation of water and good berries, and Oak could supplement that with attempting to find some food. So yes.
So Oak, your own food duties.
Cool.
I'll handle water duties for the next few days.
You're gonna be eating some bugs.
I'm fine with that. I mean, maybe I should.
I'm just glad that worked.
Well,
Okay. Now,
I wasn't worried about tonight.
yeah. Now that 10 gallons you said you can make, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that will be. Normally, a person like a standard medium-sized human needs about half a gallon of water a day. In a desert environment, you're going to double that. And Galdor, even though you are a medium creature, you are a fairly hefty medium creature, so you would need probably almost twice the normal water intake. So you are going to make enough water. But, that's... You're going through most of it, so...
Yeah.
Just letting you know.
The only thing is, we need... The bag of holding is going to have to turn into the water bag.
You are
Wait,
not destroying my instruments.
What are we going to put 10 gallons in? Hold on, let me look
Are
at
you
my-
are you gonna let me put all of my instruments on your back?
Can you create an ice cup? A bowl?
Diana, give me an Arcana check.
Okay. 4? Can I ask for what?
You'll find out once you roll.
Is it for
I got a
creating a
19.
bowl?
You know enough about magic and about bags of holding to understand pocket dimensions and how they work.
Hell yeah.
And
My
understand...
instruments are safe.
Yeah, you understand that even if you put 10 gallons of water in that bag, it's not going to soak everything in that bag. It's almost like they're in separate areas. It's like there would be
Okay.
water.
Cool.
Okay.
So could we literally just put a straw in the bag of holding and then
No, you could not. The problem with it is, and you rolled well enough that I'm going to say that you would know that when you go to retrieve the water out of the bag,
Oh, it's all gonna come out.
you are going to need to have a container to put it directly in, and you are going to have to be very specific on how you kind of, quote unquote, recall that item from the bag.
How much?
There you go.
Could we...
So she has a giant plastic bag that has one single hole in it, and she has to be very careful on how long she opens that hole to let some out.
But, I mean,
Yes,
in a way,
because
I'm
if
hearing it correctly.
Dip it in.
it doesn't work that way.
That's what I was thinking.
Different dimension.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
Otherwise, I would risk crossing the two because I'm just opening it up to keep it open, which it could risk.
I
Yeah.
mean, as long as y'all are okay, I can... We'll just be really wet. I can just cast create water 4 times
Now,
or 5
what he was
times.
saying though is,
I
if
think
I do
between-
it very carefully,
I think
can tilt the bag and pour out the exact amounts needed to refill the water skins. I
you
just
would
have to be very,
no.
very careful.
You would understand. You wouldn't necessarily be pouring out the exact amount. It's not like taking a picture and pouring it and then stopping. It would be, I've got this other container ready. I've got the opening ready. I've got it open. and you would know you'd have to say, okay, 1 quart of water, and then hope
And
that
hope.
1 quart
I
isn't
can do
too
that.
much. Okay,
Oh,
but you would
To be fair, she could just do a cup at a time.
it holds 4
exactly. But what you for sure what you could do as well is between Galdur's Great Water, your idea to use your hail spell and kind of try to collect some of that, and then his Goodberry, Oak's supplementing
I
with
could
survival.
literally.
You guys could probably find enough supplies or create enough
Mm-hmm.
to last, for an undefined period of time. But definitely, it's not. It won't be a pleasure cruise, but it would be. At least you're not going to worry about dehydrating or starving to death in a short period of time.
Starving.
Yeah, maybe long term that might be hard, but
Especially because now I understand why I got a bag of holding. But but with that as well, she could keep the water cold because she put the water in, put the chunks of ice from her hail in the same dimensional pocket to keep it cold,
it
and then
again, it doesn't quite work like that. It's
No? Okay.
no, it's this is the thing is this is what it's one dimensional space. One extra dimensional space. However, this is the way it works in my game world, at least the way I envision it and the way I run it is that you put things in there and they don't like have designated spaces in there. You can't say, all right, pocket 1A, because it's just an opening and a sack, basically. You put it in there, but individual items,
Pocket 27
yeah,
here, please.
individual items are basically, they're in the space, but they're kind of free floating in this void all by themselves, and they do not necessarily touch any other item. So think of it like if you've ever seen video of people on the International Space Station and they
Yeah.
like open up a thing of water and you get this like bubble of water like this. You put in 10 gallons of water,
Okay,
you're going to have a
I see.
10-gallon floating bubble. You put in the ice
Okay,
is all
cool.
going to hang next to each other.
Okay. Cool. That'll still work.
Could
Sweet.
All right.
Because I was worried about my instruments.
No, they'll
I
be fine.
mean, what I could do is I could create water at a 3rd level spell and just make it rain for a it would only be 45. No, 5 plus 5 plus yeah. It'd be a 30-foot span. But I don't know
Okay,
how long it would rain.
we don't have to do it that big. We just
Well, it's just so I can last a
gotta
while, so we can just walk
it in
and
the bag.
drink. Yeah, I can just create water in the bag.
All right, so you guys have, been having these discussions on how you're going to deal without the majority of your supplies, which are back with the horses wherever they may be. As it's definitely dark out now. It has gotten cold. Jacob did take the initiative to kind of set up as best as he can tell. He's seen Oak do it before, so but he hasn't really paid a ton of attention. So he's kind of set up what looks like a little bit of a fire pit and he doesn't, there's not like wood laying around, so he's been, using some scraps of things that he's had in his bag that just like extra little bit of clothing that he hasn't. I haven't worn this for a long time, and he's kind of made a rudimentary little fire pit, so to speak, and he used a firebolt to light it on fire. It's not much. It's a little bit of warmth, but it doesn't look like it's going to last long.
Okay, so food and water all goes into my fancy dancy swimming bag.
Ray is already resting. Just,
Mhm.
she's exhausted.
Yeah, lucky Ray.
All right.
She's a
So,
child. She doesn't have to worry about any of this.
yeah. So,
I mean, if any of you die, I can just animate death you. You'll be a permanent slave.
all right. So, as you are kind of bedding down for the night, um, how are you handling watches?
Oak will take first watch.
I'm tired.
I'll meditate with the gauntlets for the first hour, sleep, and then take second watch.
Okay. And so, who's taking third?
I would
Blind
I was about to say, based on how it is, it would probably be Jacob and Frim,
Yep.
because Frim can keep a better watch in the dark.
Okay. So, that's exactly what happens. You guys do that. So, I need a perception check from Oak.
Shit.
Okay. Nothing seems to really happen that you notice on your watch. Also, Galdor, prior to going to bed, you took your hour of meditation, and you discover these armbands are called the armbands of Melora's Metamorphosis. And these are special creation made specifically for followers of Melora.
That's me.
Yeah, and once I get this open, I will tell you what they do. Come on, slow thing. Okay, so once you've finished your meditation with them, you feel compelled to put them on, just to see what they are like, and you do, and knowing that they are made for followers of Melora, as you put them on, you just feel this calming presence once again of your goddess, kind of fills you. And come on, thing, hurry up! I want to see. There we go. All right, equipment, please. There we go. And you now have the feeling that that with these armbands, you could actually change your form to that of another humanoid creature of equivalent size. So a medium-sized creature.
Okay.
You know that you can do this twice between long rests, basically. So, and that when you are in the other form, or when you switch to another form, you will remain in that form until you use another use of the armbands to change into something else or to change back. Okay. While you are
You don't
transformed,
have to keep being a horse.
right? While you are in a different humanoid form, you retain all of your normal stats, but you gain the ability to communicate in the native tongue of that humanoid form that you've assumed. You don't gain any of the abilities of the new form. Like I said, you remain all your abilities and stats, and only true seeing will reveal that you are not in fact this other form and in fact a centaur. So, and that is something that Melora grants to her followers so that they might better blend in and communicate with the other intelligent humanoid races of the world and thus bring peace and harmony to all through communication.
You see the avatar?
And just remember, you got that from Rhea.
Lord, be
Because she's
brave.
manipulative.
I can turn to Jacob whenever I want.
Don't you dare.
Now,
Not
it,
to m- so
it doesn't.
I
It doesn't.
have-
It doesn't
I
allow
have
you
to
to
ask.
mimic. It doesn't allow you to mimic a specific person. It
Thank
does.
God.
It changes you into a humanoid form. So you will still have unique features to you. Even if you if you transformed into, let's say, an elf, a lot of your facial features and stuff like that, when others looked at you, they would still say, "Hey, you look like Galdor." But wait a minute, isn't he a centaur? Okay. If you changed it into a dwarf, you'd look like a dwarf version of Galdor. Like what you would look like in that other race.
Oh, Melora, should not have gifted me these. I'm gonna misuse these.
If only you had them, your last night in the Fae.
I know. Go back home.
All right, so I need a perception check now from Galdor on the second watch.
Hey.
Even with disadvantage, I'm good.
Yeah. All right. You hear
Uh-oh.
in the it sounds very far away, but you hear which almost sounds like kind of a whistling sound as the wind is has picked up a little bit during the night and is blowing, and it almost sounds kind of like a hollow whistling sound, almost like a large if you ever seen like someone take a large jug and blow across a thing, it's almost kind of like a hollow whistling sound, like the wind is blowing across something and it's creating a noise. But it seems it's very faint, but your keen senses picked it up, and it is.
We need to move.
It sounds like it's off quite a ways.
Interesting.
Oh, that's a sandstorm.
Very
Just
interesting.
hide under a blanket.
I don't know anything about this.
That's not how sandstorms work.
Other than that, nothing else happens on your watch. It's uneventful. And-
before my watch ends.
Do you
Yes.
at least tell Jacob before he
Well,
takes
yeah,
over?
I'm gonna tell Jacob, but I would like to turn into I'm gonna use one of my uses and turn into an elf.
Okay.
Please tell me he has clothes on.
I do not wear clothes,
Actually, no, he doesn't.
so I'm going to be naked 24/7 now.
Oh, good.
Didn't think about that, but oh well.
So
That booty though.
when you wake Jacob up for his turn on watch, he kind of gets up, sits up, and
Look,
as he's sitting up, Hrim is sitting on his shoulder and is looking at you, and Jacob just kind of sits there for a second, and he goes, "Galdor?"
yeah, I don't worry about it. Just
What
do you got a pair
in the
of
hell?
pants? I don't think we're the same size, but I'll make it work.
Yes. I burned quite a bit, but I think I do have an extra, like a robe. You might
I don't
be able to tie around your waist or something.
There we go. I don't like things constricting my chest.
So yeah, he finds that, gives that to you.
It takes me about like a good 45 minutes to figure out how to put it on. I'm like, what is this? Yeah, I inform him about the whistling.
All right. And
Just offhandedly, like, oh yeah, there's this thing I heard. But
Yeah, like, I don't know what that was, but I know I need pants.
yes. And you eventually you get that taken care of. You go to bed, and the next thing you guys know, it is morning. Nothing eventful happened during the remainder of the evening of the
Hook was
night,
crying in his sleep.
Did the whistle get
except for
closer?
that. Uh, wind seems to have died down a little bit, and Jacob said, "No." If questioned about it, he said, "No. It seemed to have vanished."
Do we lose our levels of exhaustion?
Yes, you do achieve a long rest. Uh,
Okay.
so
Woo, I got my spell slot back.
you are not exhausted anymore. However, the sun has broached the horizon and is beginning to pick up, and you can already feel the temperature starting to swing.
Since Oak has been crying all night, he's got sand stuck all over his face.
Diana's instantly like, oh, I hate heat, I hate sand, I hate deserts, I want out.
I mean, should I?
And it's gonna take her half a second to realize there's no more horse. And she's gonna pause, double take on Galder, and have to like stop and go, Are you wearing Jacob's clothes?
I tried to fit into them.
You realize you're wearing it incorrectly, right?
It's okay. I mean, I figured that I modeled it
It's
after
backwards.
Jacob. It's okay.
You have it on
What
backwards.
happened to your pony part?
It's in the
He's a druid. Honestly, I'm not surprised by this.
it's in the Feywild currently. I had to send it to the shop.
Yeah, it needed repairs.
That's weird.
I thought it'd be easier for me to walk with 2 legs instead of 4 legs, slowing you down. But on another note, should I prep any other spells that we might need, since I have the opportunity? I mean, I can do long stride. It'll give us an hour. We'll increase our movement by 10.
That
I
sounds
just want
good.
out.
I'd have to burn
So-
a lot of spell slots. I can
So are
call
we gonna
light-
do the water and the berries into the pouch?
Yeah, let me. I'll take long stride as well. Skywrite won't help us. I don't want to do any 3rd level spells. All right, so I'll go ahead and create 30 gallons of water. Burn that spell slot. I'll create good berry. We have 10 of them. If anyone needs health, it gives you 1. And I will cast. Let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us.
Diana's just gonna hold open the pouch and just let him go for it.
Yeah, never mind. I will not prepare long stride. I couldn't give us it all. And I'm not gonna burn all my spell slots for that. Alright, yep, that's all I can do for now.
So we've got how much water and how much berries?
We have 10 berries and 30 gallons of water.
Cool.
And technically,
I
you
meant 10
only
gallons. 10 gallons.
yeah, you only need 1 berry. The way those damn things work, 1
Yeah,
per
they're
person.
pretty OP.
It still doesn't hurt to have them in the pouch as a backup.
Oh no.
Well, after 24 hours, they'll just turn to normal berries.
Yep.
Wait,
And
can we flavor them so they're shrooms?
yes, you don't make good berries. You make good shrooms.
Good shrooms. Eat all of the shrooms.
Your spell
Are
is
these normal fucking mushrooms? Or are
You-
you contracting us again?
What? It's normal shrooms.
So you're not going behind our backs and contracting us?
No, I would never.
You mean like you did before?
I don't know what you're talking about. Let's get going,
I
you
know
guys. We got a lot of work
Sylvan.
to do. Let's head on. Okay, goodbye. This new elven
Gelder, I
monk
know
has a lot of energy.
Sylvan.
I know,
So I heard the
Mentor.
entire conversation.
Yeah, okay, Galdor starts walking away.
Um,
I would
like,
rather starve.
from the past day, and then ongoing, Oak has been very, very quiet and very much to himself.
Okay. Okay. So, which direction are you guys heading at this time?
South?
Yeah,
Okay.
right? That's the direction of the trees.
Yep. What Jacob has seen through his eyes, which he's pretty sure is some kind of rocks or stones and possible trees towards the south. So if that's the direction you're heading, that's fine. So
Yep.
As you are, just trudging along through the desert, I need everyone to
Bitching and
make.
groaning the entire time.
Yep, I need everyone to make Constitution check or a Constitution save against exhaustion.
Which I have disadvantage because it's a hot area.
Yeah, and both of them were shitty anyway. Oh my goodness! All right, Rhea, are you alive?
Rhea.
Rhea's like, I'm taking automatic failure.
She might be AFK right now. I'm not sure. I haven't heard, but so far, everyone has a point of exhaustion, and depending on what Rhea rolls when she gets back from wherever she is, she may as well. And
One won't hurt.
yep. And that has taken you through from first light until about 9 a.m. is your guess. And as you are continuing through, I need everyone to roll a perception check again. The wind has picked up a little bit.
17!
Okay.
Oh no, Oak
No.
doesn't notice anything.
Oh god!
Nope. Oak
Oak
doesn't
is too
notice.
caught up in his own mind.
Oak doesn't notice, but both Galdor and Diana do, as well as, let's see here. Yep, Jacob notices as well. Once again, as the wind picks up a little bit, you kind of hear that that deep, hollow kind of, sound, like a jug, being blowing across over the opening, making that whoo sound. And it is slightly louder than it was before because it seems to be coming from the direction you are traveling. It's not very loud, but it is slightly louder.
How much closer are they now? To the...
Hrim goes ahead and circles up above again and checks it out. And Jacob reports that it is very hard to tell, but the nearest I can guess at least another several hours, maybe more than that. And
You said that last night, Jacob.
And it appears to be the same. I cannot give you a better guess than that. And as you are continuing on, hold on 1 second. Make sure this gets.
Hey, Hey, Oak, why are you so quiet over there?
Horses.
Hmm. You know what, Oak? Give me one quick second. How many horses did you have?
Well, not including you.
Oh.
4.
I'm not a horse. Well, I'm still a centaur. I'm a buffed out elf. Ah. Would you like horses for an hour?
No, I want my horses for the rest of my life.
I mean, I can't do that. I can only create horses for an hour.
I want my horses. And I want them to be okay, I want them to be safe, and I want them to not be dead by spiders.
Oh man, they should be safe. I'm not gonna lie to you, they're probably, just chilling in a corner eating some grass.
All right, so I sent 2 of you messages.
Probably the wrong one because I got that message.
You should have.
Oh. Well, Ook only got a 3 on his perception check.
Oh, yeah, that should have gone to Diana. Anyway, so in that case, I typed in the wrong thing. Yep. So, Diana, you and Galdor.
Just send it to me. Send it to me.
Well,
I'll send it to her.
I got it.
No, I can do it.
So can I. Already done.
As I get one from. Oh, great! Okay, I see how it is. That's fine. This is fine. Everything's fine.
I don't know what that is.
Hey, not to sound paranoid, but maybe we should be on guard from here on out.
Okay. In my new elven body, I'm gonna flex.
Are we
'Cause,
on the top of a sand dune?
Say again?
Like, are we on like the top of a sand dune? Like,
No, you're like in the trough.
Which
The low
are we going
point.
up
Dune, we
or are
have
we going
to climb
down?
over.
You're near the lowest point, about to head up over another one.
Okay.
And
as
that
soon
is
as
coming from the other side of that one.
No, that one is.
That we have to go up.
It's coming from the side. Basically, the direction you're traveling would be to your right, to the west.
Oh, that's fine.
as soon as
That's
Galdor
not fine.
flexes, as soon as Galdor flexes, Oak's gonna push him, so he falls down the rest of the dune.
What? You think I don't know how to? Well, I probably don't know how to walk yet. This is new.
Don't.
Okay, so
Four-legged
go ahead and roll an acrobatics check there, Galdor.
Acrobatic. This is the first time I've ever rolled one of these.
He somehow manages to maintain his footing, even though he kind of stumbles a little bit. It's awkward for you on 2 legs. You're not used to it. Not at all.
I'm gonna keep trying until you fall.
Okay.
Caldor. I'm gonna keep casting guidance on myself now.
Okay. And right now, I need everyone to roll a stealth check at disadvantage.
Oh, only if I knew about this, I was gonna do this ahead of time. I have passed without trace.
Because you have not made any attempt to say you are trying to be quiet.
Oh, well, I'm good.
Yeah, but you guys are doing good.
No, we're not.
Look at that 20.
Look at that 11.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
7.
Well, it is disadvantage. Yeah. So,
Yeah, y'all suck at this. I'm never returning shapes. I'm
Alright.
an elf forever.
okay. So, that chittering all of a sudden gets louder And over the top of the dune, about 40 feet, 50 feet away, you see 3 large shapes appear on over the crest of that dune. And I need all of you to roll initiative.
Come on, Gowder. Don't
Do
let
they
this
have
go
the
down.
high ground?
Yes, be careful. They have the high ground.
7 is not so pretty.
But you don't understand my power. Oh.
I'm still Gowder at the end of the day. Initiative checks are not my thing.
Right.
Damn it, you're
And
missing all the good gifts I'm
I
sending you.
don't know where Rhea went.
No, I'm seeing them.
Rhea, come back to us.
I'm seeing them.
It's fine. I can make up for Rhea's absence.
Okay, so. And let's do.
I got this.
There we go. All right, so. You see 3 giant scorpions
Oh, they're cute.
appear over the crest of the sand dune. And they make a beeline for you guys. They are currently, as mentioned, about 40, 50 feet away. And it is Diana's turn.
I like how I'm the only one on the correct side of the map.
Hey,
Oh yeah, all the way over there.
you're the only one who decided to move your character over there.
Come
Yeah.
on, Galdor.
Even though that may or may not actually be correct, but
Well, you know.
Even though that's where you put the scorpions.
I put that over
I'm
there because that's
guesstimating.
where Oak was. Because I figured you guys would be
Uh-huh.
centered over on Oak.
Yeah, don't worry, you guys. I got this. Maybe.
Okay, so, is it like in a straight line, they're all coming at me, or like in a pyramid scheme?
Yeah, it seems to be they're mostly, on the same, plane, so to speak, of movement. The one in the middle might be slightly ahead of the other two, and it does seem to be maybe a tad bigger. Maybe that's like the dominant one of the group. Who knows? But they're all pretty much kind of close to side by side, coming towards you guys. So what do you do?
Where is it? I just had it. Okay, so I am instantly going to cast Blade Ward on myself. And then can I do... Wait, maybe. Okay, the order I'm thinking of this is using Blade Ward as a buffer for herself if she gets attacked, and then using Hail at the one right in front of her.
Well, let me double check that.
Because Blade Ward's a cantrip.
Blade Ward is a cantrip, but what is its casting time? If this would go faster, I'd be able to tell you myself.
At will.
That's not casting time.
Seeing a casting time.
It should be right there.
It says one action.
Yeah, so that it takes an action to cast that.
Okay. Then she's
So-
gonna say fuck all and just use Hail on the one right in front of her.
Okay.
Wait.
All right.
How close is it?
How close
Because
is
this
what?
isn't inaccurate. I can't tell how close or how far they are.
Okay.
Because this
They
isn't like an
right.
accurate map.
Yeah, that's because it's not a map. We're doing kind of theater of mind. Like I said, at the start of that turn, they're about 40 to 50 feet away. Now you would know
Okay.
that your spell is a 20-foot line. So if you wanted to do that, you could move your movement speed of
Hence
30
why I was
feet.
asking how far are they?
Yeah, you could move your movement speed to get within range and then be able to cast that.
She doesn't want to be close to them.
You do have other spells you can choose from.
I was going to say, I'm going to do the opposite, and I apologize in advance to you guys because you're kind of going to get ditched. Diana's going to move further back away so you guys are on the front line, and then she's actually going to cast Armor of Agathis on herself.
Okay. Very well. So you move further away. Do you go your full movement or?
She's gonna put a good 20 feet between her and them and
Okay.
her teammates.
Okay, so you move about 20 feet back, and you use your action to cast Armor of Agathis. You still have a bonus action available if you'd like to do anything with that.
I'm trying to figure out what her bonus actions were.
If on D&D Beyond, if you click on the Actions tab, and then you click on Bonus Action, underneath that, it lists what bonus actions you have, which
Yeah.
you've got your claws, or you also have Bardic
Who's
Inspiration.
next in line? She'll give a bardic. I was gonna say she'll give a bardic inspiration to Galder.
Okay. So you now have, I believe you are now at a D8 for yours. Yep, you have a D8 from Bardic Inspiration for the next 10 minutes to use once on a D20 roll. Ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. All right. So that is your turn. So it is now their turn. As these nasty nasties move up, and I assume you guys were all kind of walking together as a group.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they are now, all three of them, right in front of you. And each one of these things goes ahead and takes attacks. One attack at Rhea, one of them on Rhea, one of them on Oak, and one of them on Galdor.
Are they within 5
Sorry,
feet
guys.
of Oak? Are they within 5 feet of Oak?
Oh yes, they're all basically they're kind of in a line, almost like they are on the map, and you guys we're kind of in a line walking. You're basically like
Who has the
standing there.
lowest? Who has the lowest hit points out of
Probably
everyone?
Rhea.
Out of those three.
Probably Rhea.
And seeing as she's not here, can Diana do prevent wounds on Rhea right before she gets hit?
Well, basically you wait until they get hit, because if the creature doesn't hit,
Okay.
it's a reaction.
If she gets hit.
Yeah, if she gets hit,
can-
if she gets hit, you can use that reaction to do that. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Whichever one is attacking someone other than Oak, Oak is just going to attack it.
Okay. Which one do you want to go after then? The one that's attacking Rhea, or do you want to wait for the one that's attacking Galdor?
Rhea.
Okay. So, and that is a reaction, so go ahead and do that. And unfortunately, that misses. Okay. Now, Rhea on the other.
Oh!
Let me see. No,
I didn't know I had that.
I gotta go back and see
Okay.
this.
Hate to interrupt really quick. What exactly does cutting words do?
Should say right on your sheet.
Yeah, so it says, as a reaction when a creature you see within 60 feet makes an attack roll, ability check, or damage roll, you can expend one use of Bardic Inspiration, roll the die, and subtract the number
Yep.
from the creature's roll.
Right. So right now you've got
You can do
two.
so
You've got two
after-
uses of Bardic Inspiration. You've
Yeah.
given one to Galdor, so you've got one
Yeah.
left. You can use that as cutting words on an attack roll of theirs, okay, in order to reduce the effectiveness of it.
Damage?
I believe it's to reduce the attack roll, not the damage.
It's
So-
attack roll or damage roll.
Right. However, it is typically better to choose to do the attack because that means that they can miss altogether.
Yeah.
Okay. You can do so after the roll, but
Yep.
before knowing the result.
Exactly. So I have made my roll as the one attacking Rhea takes a pincer, a claw, and attempts to grab at her, and then its stinger comes down and attempts to sting her. The pincer, hold on, I was waiting to see this, if it would pop up, because it was taking its sweet time. And she is not here to tell me. Let's see. Real quick, and do it this way. Be quicker, probably. And yoink. Yoink. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, well, no, that wouldn't be because that's not accurate. I know hers is better than that. Damn it. There we go. That's what I thought. So the claw comes out and misses her. And the stinger, however, comes down and pierces right into her shoulder. And she takes 9 points of piercing damage, and she needs to make a Constitution save. But she's not responding to do that, so I don't know what is up.
Yeah, where is she?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I'm going to send her a message on Discord here.
I messaged her. She's not responding.
Huh.
Says she's online playing a game.
Hmm.
Because no offense, if she's not gonna be here at all, I'm gonna use the cutting words for Galder or Oak instead if they get
Yeah.
it.
Hey, I totally understand that. I would not expect any less if someone wasn't there. Yeah, I don't even see her online on Discord.
It says she's online for me playing
Oh.
MTG
Arena.
Arena.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Magic the Gathering.
I didn't know what it stood for. Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. I only know that because my ex played it.
Is it bad I'm sitting here going, did Rhea just completely disassociate and just not even recognize the fact that we're fighting now?
I guess. I have no idea. All right. Anyway, so continuing
Kinda
on.
is.
So she took some damage. And the one going after Oak, pull this up. It also swings with its claws. And your AC, Oak. Okay.
14.
Yeah. You dodge definitely out of the way of its claw and its massive stinger as it comes down, hits the sand in front of you, and sand flies up, missing you completely. Come back here, this one. The third one goes after Galdor.
Bring it,
Come on.
boy.
If you get hit, I can make it to where you don't take 3 damage.
And
That's about it.
let's see, your AC real quick.
14.
14. As
Frontliner.
as the claw grabs around your elf body, and you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage that as it squeezes you tight. And I need you to, and actually, no, you are grappled. On your turn, you can use an action to try to escape the grapple with a strength check, which would be athletics, basically. But that's on your turn. But you took 5 points of bludgeoning damage, and the stinger, even though it grabbed hold of you, it missed you.
Ha.
So is that the 5 points after the
Did you use your cutting
Prevent
words?
wounds?
Oh, you used prevent wounds.
No,
You're
no.
right.
Prevent wounds because it's a reaction
Yeah,
Right.
do that.
and it's a cantrip.
Yep, and that is
It
what?
minimizes
Half
the damage by 3.
by 3, so you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ha. I'm a sexy beast.
Hmm. And that is their turn. It is your turn, Galdor.
Whoa, why am I flying across the map? Galdor, get back over here.
It does the same thing for me. Don't feel bad.
Yeah, do
alright.
that for me too.
Galdor, he's enjoying his new elven body, and he is just gonna right off the bat, I'm going to cast, because I'm assuming I can still cast spells, right?
Yeah, absolutely. What all grappled really means in 5th edition is your movement speed is currently 0.
Yeah, good.
You
I'm
you
gonna
can
cast-
yeah you can still pretty much do everything else. You just cannot move away from the
I'm gonna
creature.
cast Conjure Animals. I'm gonna cast it 1 CR level 2. I'm gonna cast an enormous tentacle behind them.
Okay. And what exactly does this do?
Desert Kraken.
It's a summoned creature.
Okay.
It's just a tentacle that it rolls its own initiative, so I'll have to roll an initiative for it, and I just command it to do what I say.
Okay. Well, hold on. Let me do this way.
Oh, we both have a tentacle in the battlefield.
So I have
All right, and
to ask,
just go
is
ahead and
Rhea-
roll the initiative for it, and I will put it on there.
All right.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Before he does all that. Because Rhea just went MIA without letting any of us know, is Rhea still gonna keep getting hit? Because her character's
Yeah,
still
you know-
there?
I'm gonna have to say no, just because.
Because she didn't tell any of
Yeah.
us where she went.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
part of me is also sitting here like, if you just suddenly up and ditch the game in the middle without telling anyone where you went, you kind of deserve to keep getting hit.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm not gonna do that to someone's character. She already took 1 hit, and if she does come back, she still has to make a Constitution save or suffer the damage from that sting, from the poison. So that could be suffering enough, because she perhaps could have done something with her character to avoid that hit. So your
And then,
tentacle goes after you.
Alright, so I'm going to, because it's a free action just to tell my tentacle what to do, I'm going to tell my tentacle to attack the one that's holding me.
Okay.
Alright, then
Whack.
bonus action, I guess, Shillelagh.
Okay.
Why
Alright.
not?
So that's your turn.
Alright.
So now it's your
Tentacle.
tentacle's turn. So it's going to attack. You told it to attack, so go ahead and roll
Is
for
the
that attack.
tentacle Is the
Tentacle,
tentacle
do your
connected
thing.
to something? Or
It's
like,
just in the
well-
ground.
is it just the tentacle?
It's
It-
just a tentacle, it
Yeah.
just flaps around.
Just coming right out of the sand.
Tentacle! What the heck?
I don't.
That definitely misses. And that is its turn. So Oak, it is your turn.
Okay. Well, one, Oak is gonna rage,
Okay.
so go +2 to damage.
Mm-hmm.
And allies who are within 5 feet of Oak get advantage on their attack.
Every time you do that, all I think of
Mm-hmm. All right. So go ahead.
Now Oak is going to attack with his great axe. Just that he's just gonna choose the one that attacked Rhea. He's gonna go after
Okay.
that one
All right.
what about the one in front of you?
because Rhea.
Okay. So your first
Yeah, but
attack.
if she's not here, she's not gonna get hit anyway.
Just let Oak choose whatever Oak chooses. So your first attack And you do not have advantage. It's people within 5 feet of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you don't have advantage for it. So you miss with that first attack. You can go ahead and do your second attack.
Oh yeah, I've got a second attack.
That's all right. You're level 5 now.
Now,
And that one misses as well, going wide.
God.
And that is your turn. It is now Diana's turn again.
Okay. What she's gonna do is. Okay, cool. So she is going to use. Should I use Eldritch Blast or should I use something else? Hang on. I had my spells up and then my computer screen froze. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
She will use Dissonant Whispers on the one holding Galder. Because is
Okay.
he still being held? Or
Yes, he is still grappled.
Yeah. So she will use the Dissonant Whispers on the one holding Galder
Okay.
at a second level. So it's a 46.
Okay. So now is that a?
I just need to figure out how the fuck to roll for it.
Well, yeah. Hold on. I'm looking at something real quick because that I believe is a saving throw on the part of the
Mhm.
enemy. And let's see here.
It's Wisdom.
Wisdom 13, I believe. Yep. Wisdom 13.
Yeah.
So, yoink. And that is a fail. It fails its save. No, it's a fail on its part.
And then
That means it fails its
oh,
save.
cool. So do I roll the 46?
Yes, you do. Absolutely.
Okay.
And you should have your macros at the top. So you should be able to click on the one that says D6. And it'll ask you how many dice. There you go. So 18 damage. Damn. Damn. All right, let's double check this. Yep, that's what I thought.
Have to run away.
Well, what is the other effects on there? Target my wizard. Immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from you. So, here's what happens. The one that you hit just took a huge... I mean, you see this thing, it like shrieks in pain as it kind of shakes back and forth. It looks...
Does it drop Galder?
It looks really pissed off. No, it does not. It does not. As
Being kidnapped.
as it
Inspiration, buddy.
as it moves 40 feet away. It is now back at the top of the dune that it came over. And
I would
Galder,
drop you. I'm sorry.
and Galder, you are still clutched within its claws. So there
Dumb question.
there are currently 2 scorpions that are still up next to Rhea and Oak. Diana is 20 feet behind you guys, and Galder is now 40 feet in the other direction on top of the dune with the other scorpion who just took a massive hit of damage.
Okay. My dumb question is, does Dissonant Whispers apply attacks of opportunity?
No, forced movement does not incur attacks of opportunity.
Yeah, I thought so.
And then what I was gonna do is just to be safe, she's going to cast Ice Field around herself
Unfortunately, you
as her
cannot.
bonus action, so that
Yeah.
way, if anything,
Unfortunately, you cannot do
It's a
that.
bonus
Oh, it is a cantrip, and it is about okay. Yep, it is a cantrip, so yes, you can. And a bonus action, so that works out. Yep, you can.
Little tentacle.
enters that field, it has to do a dexterity save or it's prone.
Yep.
And then
All you've got left is movement at this point.
and I am golden.
Okay. So it is the scorpion's turn. and both of them turn
Sorry, Calder.
towards Oak, who's got this big axe that's swinging at them. The first one swings and tries to grab Oak with its claws and misses, but hits with its stinger, doing 10 piercing damage as its stinger digs into your thigh, and you feel, it doesn't. Why do you say that?
Because prevent wounds.
It doesn't prevent damage, or it
She's
doesn't prevent the hit.
It takes away 3 of 10 damage.
Right. So it does 7.
7.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
I'm trying to do better.
No, you're doing good. You're doing good. So that's 7.
Oh wait, is that piercing damage? Because
Oh, and you're raging. You are raging. So that is reduced down to 3 damage. Because -3 and then 7 halved rounded down. So very nice. But you feel this just like liquid heat being pumped into your leg. I need a constitution save from you.
Haha. 22. Does that
Very, very, very nice. You grit your teeth and bite back, only taking 12 points of poison damage as it courses through your veins. Otherwise, it would have been 25.
Oh,
So,
Jesus.
question. So, quick question for that sense. The prevent wounds helped with her getting the stinger. Was it the stinger or was it the claws?
It was the stinger. All it did is prevent the
The
pierce. It prevented 3 points of piercing damage. That's it.
Yeah. And then she got attacked a second time?
No,
No, that was the poison.
that was poison from the stinger as it was injected into her
From the stinger. Okay.
or him.
That's what I was asking. It's like, does that still equate into the prevent wound?
No.
I wasn't sure. I was half banged. My bad.
Yeah. Okay. The second one also attempts to grab you and hit you with its stinger. The stinger goes wide, but the claw reaches out and grabs onto you, doing 10 points, reduced to 5 because you're raging, of bludgeoning damage, but you are grappled. You can attempt to escape on your turn using an action and a strength athletics check. Okay.
Okay.
But you are grappled.
Question. Would
Answer.
Does the prevent wounds kick in for that one as well?
No, it is a reaction thing.
Does the
Basically,
prevent wounds?
it only happens once. Period. When you use your reaction, it's not a lasting spell. It's an instantaneous effect. Basically, what it means is somebody gets hit, and you go, "Oh crap!" and you are able to lessen the blow from that one hit, and then it's over. That's it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way to...
So hits from a different monster during that same turn doesn't count?
No, because all it is an instantaneous effect that happens as a reaction. Okay? It's basically, put it this way. It's the same thing as saying, okay, I'm standing next to Oak, someone swings a sword at Oak, and I manage to bring up my sword, deflect the sword a little bit, so that instead of hitting Oak in the neck, it hits Oak in the shoulder. Okay, but now somebody else takes an attack at Oak. Well, I'm not over
Okay,
there.
now I understand.
Yeah. That's basically what prevent wounds is doing. It's mitigating the damage from one attack once. And it is a reaction,
Gotcha.
which means you have used your reaction for this round. You have no more reactions for the rest of this round until it comes back around to your turn again.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Sorry.
Nope, no problem.
I haven't used it before, so I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
No problem. No problem. All right, and then Galdor. The one on you, it already has you in its claws, so it attempts to squeeze you with its claws. And your AC once again is what?
14.
14. So the claws managed to squeeze you hard, and you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage. The stinger, however, misses you as you're kind of wiggling around, forcing it to move, and so the stinger misses completely. And you do your hail of spores. So, all
It
right.
squeezes me.
As
I let
it's-
out a little puff of s'mores.
A little puff of s'mores. What? All right.
Yeah,
And
that's
that
why
is-
I said s'mores.
And it fails its save, taking, 4 whole points of necrotic damage. Very nice.
I did my max.
You finally got that to work.
Wow.
All right. That is their turn. It is now your turn.
I'll be a true player, and because I did take damage, I will roll a con save with advantage because I am a warcaster to hold my spell.
Yep.
Oh, I'm good.
Oh, easily get it.
All right. So first I'll tell my little tentacle to move closer to Oak and attack the one that's attacking Oak, and then I will take a swing at
At the one on you.
this one. Mm-hmm.
All right, go for it.
Swing with my club.
Your shillelagh.
Yes. Where is that spell? Oh my god, I can't hit either.
No, is the movement of you trying to, get out of the way of this vicious stinger.
I mean,
It just
gave you a thingy.
it gives you
Oh,
moving around. You can use that inspiration if you want.
sure, I'll try it. It's
All right.
1d8.
It is a 1d8.
Gosh, I hope I get an 8 and not a 1.
You jinxed yourself. Yeah. So yeah, you missed with that attack, and I believe that was all of your stuff, right?
What other bonus actions can I do? Yep, that's it.
All right. So your tentacle.
Tentacle. Wait, so, because Oak is raging, it
Yep.
gives them advantage?
It gives the tentacle advantage.
Yes, it does.
Aw, Tentacle, you can do this. I'm gonna...
Come on, tentacle.
Well, let's
Oh.
see for crit.
Tentacle.
Damn.
No crit, but yeah, you definitely hit it. So go ahead and roll your tentacleized damage. Yes, I got to say tentacleized.
Choose you.
Alright, advanced die roller.
Tentacle. You slam.
It's gonna take 13 points of damage. And
Wow, very nice.
the target is grappled.
It is grappled. Very nice. So
Yeah.
it takes 13, so that's going to put it to that. All right, good to know. Good deal. Okay, so now it is Oak's turn.
First thing Oak is gonna do is he's gonna shift, giving him 7 temporary hit points.
Very nice.
And then he's going to attack the one that is grappled, which would give him advantage, right?
Grappled does not give you advantage. Restrained
Oh.
does.
Oh, okay.
So
Then he'll just attack the one that's not.
Oh,
grappled.
wait a second. Until the grapple ends, the creature is restrained.
okay, so yeah, it is restrained. So therefore, you do have advantage.
Ew.
Yeah, make sure to
Yay,
keep
Oak is gonna attack.
keywords and tricky phrases. Make sure you mention
Yeah.
those.
I had to read further down.
Yep. Okay, sorry, Oak, go ahead. Oh, yes. That hits for, wow, 1 again. Isn't that like all of the damage rolls you made were that?
I know.
I know. So
weird.
it's 5 because you're raging. So,
Ah.
There you go.
and
The second attack, much better.
the second attack, because of advantage, it hits, and that is 9, so you did a total of 14 damage to that one. And that was the one that was attacking you, correct? Because that is the one...
That was the one that was.
Yeah, I grappled the
was,
one that was grappling you.
Yeah.
Yep. So now you're in like a
So-
three-way grapple. And, yep, the one that was that's grappling you, so, yep. All right, so there's that. And that would be it because you have no movement speed right now. It is now Diana's turn.
All right. So they were standing in one spot. Diana moved 20 feet back, and then the scorpion moved 40 feet away, correct?
Yes. You are 60 feet away
So
from
it's
that
still within
one.
60. Okay, cool. That's all I need. She's going to use Vicious Mockery on the one holding Galder.
Excellent. Very good spell. So that is another wisdom save. So let me roll that for that guy.
And it's a 2d4 because it's a cantrip.
And he passes. So I rolled really high. So
And then none of them are close to her. So that will actually be the end of her turn.
okay. It is now their
Balls are
turn.
useless because things near her.
Yeah. It is now their turn once again. As two of them are going after Oak. And ouch. The claw from the first one misses you.
Question.
Yes.
Because they're both going after them. Can she use the cutting words on? Because you already said one of them misses, but could she use cutting words on the other one to...
Well, no, you didn't use cutting words once
Yeah.
before. You
I was
used
just asking about it.
yeah. So you can use cutting words to reduce the attack roll if you want.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now so as I was gonna say, the claw misses. The stinger hits. Now, if you want to use cutting words, you can. You don't have to. It's your choice.
Because the stinger also does poison damage, so I will.
Okay. Unfortunately, that uses up your cutting words, and it's not going to matter because he rolled a nat 20.
Oh, fuck. I tried.
So it is a crit. So you take
I tried.
8 points of piercing reduced to 4 because you're raging, and you need to make a constitution save.
Nope.
This time you fail the save and take 17 points of poison damage.
Where are you at?
16.
Okay, I'm not too worried yet.
Speaking of
Out of
6,
50?
speaking of 16, you just got hit by the other one's claw, which is the one you're currently grabbed by. It basically squeezes you with a 16.
Me. Okay.
However, it only crushes you a little bit, doing 5 points reduced to 2 because you're raging of bludgeoning damage.
Mm-hmm.
And it misses with its stinger.
Oh, thank God.
The one on Galdor, however, let's see, where is that? There you go. It crushes you a little more with its claw, causing you to, as your ribs kind of crunch in a little bit, you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage. And the stinger finally finds you, kind of going over the top of your head and scraping down your back a little bit, causing 4 points of piercing damage, and I need you to make a constitution save.
Because I already used one reaction, I can't use
That's
the
correct.
cantrip.
That's correct. Ouch. As you fail to save and as the poison courses through your veins, you take 22 points of poison damage.
Are you even alive? You're muted.
I am driving up to death's door.
How much?
So you're still up. That's good.
I'm still. I have 4.
And as far as saves go, it does not make it save, and it takes that 1 point of necrotic damage that you unleash upon it.
I wish I did 4. Oh my god.
It is now your turn.
You need to get free and get to Diana.
There's not much I can do.
I have a plan. I have a plan.
Alright, so I'll tell my tentacle to stay attacking that one. Dude, I don't know. I could wild shape.
If you can at least get to just the outside of the ice field, I should be able to help.
Yeah, the only thing is me getting there.
You have to get free. Yeah. Because if you dash, you can make it, but you need to get free first.
Well, he is not a rogue. Unless he's got something special that gives him a bonus action dash, it takes your action to break free. Or attempt to break free.
Oh, yeah.
But you still have your movement after that, so you still have your normal movement. But you're going to take an attack of opportunity.
Yeah. Man, I really wish I would have kept one of those good berries as a prevention suicide pill. Alright, well, first off, I will go ahead.
Well, first make a Constitution save for your spell. You have advantage because you're Warcast. Oh, yeah. You still make it.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and symbiotic entity myself, giving me 20 temporary hit points.
Very nice.
And I guess I'm just a chillin'.
Okay.
Because that's my whole
You can't
action.
attack it? Oh, yeah, you can't.
You don't have any bonus action you can do?
Nope. I only have Chalet. And that turns into an action.
Okay. Alright, so it is your tentacle's turn. It still has advantage.
Tentacle.
Because it's still next to Oak.
Hurt this
Tentacle.
thing.
It's your turn.
Oh god, I'm glad you have advantage.
Yep. Roll again.
Oh,
Oh, you do! Roll your damage, double the dice, and add the bonus.
Oh my god.
That's amazing. Nice.
Oh, I'm gonna save you.
Please.
33 points of damage.
Holy shnikes.
Holy.
Nice. You do indeed. You just absolutely. This tentacle is like wrapped around the one that has got you in its claws, Oak. And
Yeah.
it's like right around its midsection. And you watch as right in front of you, it just squeezes in. It seems to resist for a second and then crumples like a tin can. And this greenish goop and blood just like spray all over you. As that one is down. Awesome. There you go. Very much needed.
I got a message from
Actually,
Rhea.
Apparently she fell asleep.
Yeah, she fell asleep.
Oh, she fell asleep. Is that the issue? Okay, hold on. I put an X on the wrong one.
Yeah,
It was this.
apparently you shouldn't lay down and try to play D&D at the same time.
No. All right.
We're taking
Well,
care of the fight anyway.
well, I would say, Rhea, make
Like,
sure.
you're so far gone.
Hold on. No, hold on. Rhea, go ahead and roll initiative so we can get you on the initiative tracker.
Alright.
Yeah, we need you.
You really
You guys got this. What are you talking
I'm
about?
at
Okay.
24 health.
So you are
Oh,
at
God.
11, and I'm going to put you right underneath Diana. So there you go. All right. So, and let's.
I have a quick question. Because of where Diana is standing, and the one that the tentacle just killed, if she were to never mind, ignore me.
Okay. So anyway,
Because
it
the
is
problem
Oak's turn.
What she wants to do, she can't.
You don't know that.
Okay.
It is Oak's turn.
Okay. Well, Oak Oak, Oak is gonna go to the one that's not dead, and he's
Okay.
gonna whack it.
All right. So, yep, there is one still next to you and Rhea. And your first swing goes wide, but your second one connects as you do 11 damage to it with your
And then
axe
he's gonna
crunching into it.
He's gonna use his bonus action to bite it.
Okay, roll your attack.
Damn it.
And it manages to dodge out of the way. It's for as large as it is, it's quite nimble.
Bastard.
It is now Diana's turn. There is one that is still about 20 feet away, right up near Oak and Rhea, and then the one with Galdor is 60 feet away.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. Originally, I was thinking she could dash and make the 60 feet to Galder.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is, if she did that, she couldn't use the True Love's Kiss spell, because that's also an action.
Mm-hmm.
So she couldn't heal him.
Nope.
So,
But you got plenty of things that can do damage from range.
Yeah, so what I was gonna do is have her use a one spell slot of the Dissonant Whispers on the one Oak is fighting.
Okay.
Oh, I hope it doesn't fail.
You know, you hope it does fail. Fail means that it fails its save.
Yeah, but then it's gonna run 40 feet back next to me.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because if I do it on the one you're at, you go another 40
Oh
feet.
god, yeah.
So, yeah, roll damage, as it did indeed fail its save.
So it's a 3d6.
Mm-hmm.
God.
And you hit it nice and hard with that, just like the one before. It seems to just like shake shake crazily, and then it's like upset, and then it takes off, and it ends up right next to Galdor and with the other one.
Hey there. How you doing?
Because I know Rhea has plenty of long distance spells that are strong enough to hit them from that distance.
Yeah.
So.
I can do things, yeah.
Okay, and it
That's why I
is.
wasn't overly worried about it.
It is indeed your turn now, Rhea, unless you have any bonus actions or movement you would like to do, Diana.
No, I think I'm gonna keep it simple.
Well, no, I said Diana, if she's got any bonus
Oh,
actions or movement
sorry.
she'd like to do.
I don't think I do. Because so long as she twin spells something, we're good.
Okay, hold on one second. I just got to fix something real quick here. That thank you, if I've got it pronounced right, Queen Kaya, for the heads up. I had the D&D Beyond overlay on the stream, not selected to this campaign, so your characters were not showing up on the overlay. Different ones were. So I'm going on there to switch that right now, and being that I am going into Twitch while live streaming on Twitch, it might cause some momentary feedback or echo. Hopefully I can avoid it, but I'm going to try to fix this real quick. If I can get it to do it. Alright, so sorry about that, Diana. I always get that messed up. So, did you say you were going to do bonus action or movement? I can't.
She doesn't have any.
Okay. So then,
Bardic
yes.
Inspiration.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
she's
I'm
out
out.
of those. She only has 2, and she
okay.
used them. So,
Okay.
Rhea, it is indeed your turn. What would you like to do?
Alright. So
Just twin spell something that has a 3d8. Hit them both.
oh, okay.
Unless it'll hit Gelder.
So there's 2 targets, right? Cool. I could.
There
I
are
could.
Do
there
not
are 2 targets.
fireball.
However, I feel like Fireball would also hit Galdor.
Yes.
Did you
And
get careful spell meta magic?
I did not. Of course not.
Uh,
Okay, so what I'm going to do
I,
is
I,
I'm
I
going
will I will say this, that because it's just the way I play it, that you, if Galdor wasn't currently grappled by one of them, so he was just standing facing one of them, when you cast area effect spells, I give the benefit of the doubt to the casters and say that they understand their spells, how they work, and how they blow up, so that you can technically, make a best guess estimate of, okay, look, I know this is going to take up this much space. I'm going to shoot it and aim it there, so that the edge of it catches, all the enemies that I can with it without hitting my allies. If unless your allies are intermixed with the enemies or happen to be grappled by them, which is the case
So what
right
happened
now.
to that with the thing with Jacob?
Well, anyway, what I'm going to do is cast a. Let's see, do. I'm going to cast a 2nd level chromatic orb, which I will then twin spell and hit both of them.
Okay.
And I would be using my rod when I cast it.
Okay. So go ahead and cast those spells.
It does look like a dog.
I don't
does.
see it.
Like you see, like there's the nose, the town is its eye. It kind of looks like a
chromatic
orb.
All right. So,
Oh, it does kind of look like a.
and for the second one, because you got 2 different orbs coming out, so you got to roll that one as well.
Oh yeah, both.
Both of them hit, and both do some pretty significant damage there.
I believe those are both just at 1st level, and I did say I was going to make them 2nd level.
Okay, so
So-
roll the additional D8 for each one of them.
Top one first, obviously, then bottom.
Yeah. Oh, nice. So you do 25 and 19 damage, respectively. So
Isn't it 26 because of the rod?
I believe the rod is just +1 to attack, I think, not +1 to damage, unless I've got that backwards. Which is possible. Come on.
To be honest, I don't remember fully.
You also just woke up.
Dude, I did.
It happens a lot.
All right. Come on.
Also,
All right. No, it's just the attack roll.
Yep, okay. So 25 and 19. So one of them goes bye-bye, and
can it be the one holding Galder?
unfortunately it is not.
Damn.
Damn.
The other
Hey, you guys.
the other one is looking really beat up as these like softball-sized orbs fly out of Rhea's outstretched hand, merging with energy swirling out from the tip of the rod she is holding, and slam into these things. And which type of damage did you choose again?
Fire.
Fire. And just kind of explodes into each one of them and just burns them. One is just... the one that was not holding Galder, I mean, it scrunches up and it ends up flipping over onto its back and its legs kind of like that. And the one that is holding Galder, I mean, it's shrieking in pain. I mean, the sound is just ear-splitting. And it's backing up and backing up away from you guys, still with Galder in its clutches.
Hey, calm down,
All
little
right.
buddy.
All right. In that case, since it's pulling Galdor, I'm gonna go ahead and use Meta Magic for Quicken Spell.
Okay.
I'm gonna then Firebolt, and then I'm gonna Twin Spell Firebolt.
Okay.
Wow.
You can do that as a bonus?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Quicken spell. I mean, she's basically blowing all her sorcery points to do this, but that's what.
That's
Oh, okay.
why it was the second level Chromatic Orb, not third.
Yep.
All right, Firebolt.
Okay.
There's one.
Before the second one even gets there, the second one goes wide because the first one slams into it, and the whole thing, the creature shifts over to its right, dropping Galdor out of its claws as it shrieks and dies. And the second firebolt goes wide as it kind of moved out of the way in its own death throes. And the cartoon peril is no more.
Yay!
Hey, I'm a
Had-
rover.
Had
I
Rhea
was
not woken
this
up
close.
when she did.
I was this close to using my potions of giant strength.
Yeah, that.
I was about to say, had Rhea not woken up when she did, I wouldn't have used the dissonant whispers. But the only reason I did is because she came back and I knew she could twin spell.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run over and half five my tentacle.
All right. All right.
I'm gonna eat a second level spell slot and a first level spell slot for 3 sorcery points.
Okay.
Wait, Rhea, how do you feel about my new shape? I'm now an elf.
Wait, are you Galdor?
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah,
wearing a rope frog.
That's right. Your pony is in the Fae. You've told me
Yeah,
this.
I just wanted to make sure that you're okay with it. You seem to less
Being
phased.
repaired.
How? How are
Mhm.
you able to do this?
Ah,
Is it because of the bracers?
Melora graces us all.
Is it because of the wristbands? Because I mean, damn, those things are even more valuable than I thought they were.
I mean, if because I worship Melora, I'm good,
Mm,
and I can speak
So-
elf now.
cool.
Is your the little Galdor did something to purposely give himself 20 hit points?
hmm
Mm-hmm.
Is that gone now?
Yeah, they're temporary.
After 10 minutes, I'll drop.
Well, also, is that a
Okay,
class
so-
feature or a spell?
It's a class feature.
Okay, I was just gonna say because if it wasn't, then concentration most likely for something like that. So.
Yeah, no, I'm good there.
How many hit points do you have in total? Like, what could be your max amount?
So
My
what
max
is the
right
strategy?
now is 42, and I'm currently
Okay.
at 4.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Glad I killed
Okay,
that
the reason I
scorpion.
asked, is because I can technically give you as much as I can from a 3d6 plus 2
I'll be okay.
to try and heal you.
I'll be fine. I will go ahead and I'll drop my spell, my little
Take a short rest.
tentacle. Well, yeah, we can just take a
You
short
need to
rest.
get moving.
Yeah, true. I guess I will
We need
go
to get
ahead.
moving.
Okay, let's move for a while. Then
Wait,
once we're
so
through
no one
things are
move.
done.
No one move. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Pass Without Trace on all of us.
Oh, healing spores.
I don't have that prepared anymore. I was going to, but I unprepared
Oh,
it.
damn.
Yeah, so we have Pass Without Trace. So our stealth is now plus 10.
Cool.
Yeah, so let's just be very sneaky as we walk around.
That's fair. So do we all have to roll stealth checks again?
If you're trying to be sneaky, yes. Just remember you get that
Yeah,
plus
let's-
10
And then-
from Pass Without Trace on top of
Okay.
your roll.
God, this about to be so much fun.
Okay, I guess we'll do spells.
Yeah, come on, let's be sneaky.
Wow, 23.
35.
What the hell?
I don't know if I get the advantage or not because we're purposely trying with nothing around us.
Hey,
Well-
I just want to be safe than sorry. 27.
Yeah.
Damn, Rhea got 35.
I'm the only one under 20.
Yeah.
I'm really good against stuff.
Well, no, yours is it's not advantage, but yeah, you're at 17. That's still good.
I'm still the only one under 20.
Yeah.
That's cool. Some people, they have to get used to being so stealthy.
It's more so I'm in a desert and I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
I am literally in the opposite of my favorite climate.
Yeah, I just went to burn a spell slot. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still feeling the effects from the Feywild. And who knows? Maybe like the scorpions are following us now. They can't find us. We don't leave no footprints.
All right. So you guys continue on, and you know what?
Oh yeah.
I forgot.
I forgot. Do that.
I forgot. And you guys are fortunate that I forgot. You guys had all suffered a level of exhaustion, and so a lot of your rolls should have been at disadvantage. You're very fortunate I forgot that at this
Oh
time.
yeah. Thank God.
Thank God I forgot. So that being said,
I have a question.
yes.
So because of how she is, could I technically take the 24 because Diana would be using her tail behind her to hide her footprints?
Nope.
No,
You
it's
don't
not-
get
we'll be
don't get
fine with the
advantage. You're at a 17, so
I can't
typically you don't need to worry about that. Once you're at that level, but you got that taken care of. Hold on.
So much typing.
Personal essays. Oh, I mean,
Oh, yeah. The next sand dune we get to the top of, Oak is pushing Galder down it again.
Okay.
yeah, I feel that this is coming. I automatic. Oh, I can't.
Roll an acrobatics
Oh my
check
God.
I will.
at disadvantage because, well, you're still exhausted.
See, I was gonna be a jerk and use guidance, but
Oh yeah.
I'd have to sacrifice the spell that we have.
You tumble down and kind of land on your butt and kind of tumble down the sand dune. Land on your butt at the low point of the drop of the dunes.
Wow.
And you guys continue on. You go for another.
Oak meant to.
Yes, go ahead.
Meant to specifically push Oak. Oak meant to specifically push Galder in the direction they came from, so backwards.
Okay.
Do I take
You're
4
such
points
a
of
dick.
bludgeoning damage?
No, you don't take any. You don't take any damage because
Down.
it's soft sand. But it's just a pain in the ass. And I need all of you to once again make Constitution saves for exhaustion.
You're such a dick.
I'm about to just chill touch to pusher. Him. I caught myself. Where? I can never find the saves. There it is.
Okay, so
Oh, even with
I
disadvantage.
do
I'm
not like
fine.
desert.
Galdor and Rhea and Oak have all kind of fight off the exhaustion. And I actually need one more from you, Rhea, for earlier while you were asleep.
All right. Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
so,
Give me a second.
Mhm.
Boom.
all right. So, Rhea, you are not exhausted. Galdor and Oak, you still have 1 point of exhaustion. And Diana, you have 2 points of exhaustion at this point.
Oh shit.
And it is
I
now.
kept trying to tell you guys, I don't do well in desert.
Yeah, because she has disadvantage on this. It is now midday, and Jacob sends Hrim up one more time to look around and kind of scout the area. And he sees, he reports back once again, okay, we are definitely getting closer to the rocks, and there are definitely trees there, and I think it almost, yes, it looks like some type of oasis.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, I know where we're at on the map then.
So yeah, and yes, I know you're going to ask again, Diana, but the best I can guess now is we are maybe, if we continue on through the rest of the day, I think we may finally make it. But
I hate to ask this, Galdor. Can you please turn back into your horse form? I cannot take the desert heat.
I mean, you do realize I can just carry you. I still have all the strength.
That's fine. I can't do
I
heat.
alley-oop her. I scoop her into my arms.
Okay.
This is very awkward.
I have one more level, and then I can turn into a fox, guys. I have one.
I have never been this close to you, face to face.
And I can just chill around someone's neck.
You know, I'm just gonna go ahead and put you on my back. I'm gonna piggyback you. I'm not used to this.
Hey, Diana.
It's fine, honestly.
Now that Galder can transform into a more human-like creature, you can finally sleep with him.
I'm good. Good. No offense, Galdor, but I'm good.
all right, so
I still can't get the picture of hooves out of my head.
I am a sexy elf.
the hot sun continues to blaze down, and you continue to trudge on. And I
I have a
need,
question.
yes, go ahead.
Can I be any type of elf?
Yes,
Oh god.
any
Can I be...
any humanoid race of equal size to your normal size, which is mediums, even though you're, half horse. So any medium-sized humanoid race.
I'm trying to see if Eladrins are considered humanoid.
Yeah,
What are a lot? What?
Eladrins. That's
John Brown.
that's what John the
Eladrin,
Brown was.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounded like he said Eladrin.
Eh,
It sounded like he said Eladrin, so I'm like,
I pronounce it a little different.
Laudanum. Yeah.
Alaninium.
Aluminium.
I'm simplifying it to Aladdin.
Oh,
There you go.
I got fiery hair. I'm assuming we're sometime in the summer. I don't know what the season is here.
All right, so as the sun continues to beat down upon you guys, I need you once again to make Constitution saves.
I don't want to.
I want you to.
do I have to?
I want you to make 2 of them to cover the remainder of the day.
Oh no.
I'm dead then.
You can't be at that low.
I
Yeah,
already had
You're only at
3.
2. Well, you're not at 6, and 6 is dead.
Yeah.
So we had to make 2 more?
So
Okay.
I already
Hold on.
had
Let's-
3 points, right?
You had
No,
2
you
points.
had
You had 2.
Last night.
You're
So
at
I'm
2.
at 4.
No, you're at 2 right now prior to the 2 rolls. And we've got
Ooh.
Oak makes it, Diana fails, Galder fails, Galder makes it, Diana fails, Oak makes it, And Rhea makes one, fails another. So Rhea, you're at one level of exhaustion. Oak, you remain at your one, because I believe you made it twice. If I saw that right, yes. Galdor, you failed one of them, so you are now at 2 levels of exhaustion. And Diana, you are at 4. As you guys finally crest a rise, looking as you come over the top of this dune, the sun has almost set. The temperature is already starting to drop, but with the last vestiges of light, you can clearly see that 100 feet in front of you, there is a large, almost crystal clear looking body of water with several palm trees, some small shrubs and bushes everywhere, and some large rocks kind of scattered around the area. And as you look across, you see on the opposite side of this oasis, you see something that, let me see if I can describe this.
John Brown.
No, not John Brown.
One really, really giant scorpion.
Nope.
I'm trying to figure out what her name is. I forgot already.
No, Amelia?
Or
Amelie?
Amelie. I need to write her name down.
Yeah.
Sea goblin?
The goblin?
You
Thank you, Rhea.
you
all 4 of the horses nice and happy. And nothing
Nope.
wrong with them.
You see a large creature that has a humanoid head and a lion's body.
It's a sphinx. Oh, it's a sphinx.
I think we should kill it.
And it is
No, don't kill
it is wandering around near there. Very obvious.
Oh dear God, y'all! I have no health.
You don't
And-
fight sphinxes.
Why not?
We're in my hometown.
And then I also need perception checks from everyone.
Yo, let's go visit my mom. No? Why? Oh yeah, I don't want y'all to go to my hometown.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 15. Take it.
Yeah. And
What
looks
was
like
it?
because of the disadvantage of exhaustion, and still waiting on Rhea. Long as she's
Yeah.
awake.
Boop.
Okay. Yep. So Galdor, you notice the.
I was
Oh, go ahead.
gonna have Diana re-roll because I'm gonna be like, Psh, I'm lucky. Found
Yeah,
the
it
watch.
won't matter because of how exhausted I am.
You get to re-roll that though.
Okay.
Is what I'm saying.
That's right, because you have the bountiful luck feat. So.
Exactly.
So you can do that to her. So you get to re-roll. So basically, you can re-roll that one to. So your lowest is a 12 then in this case, because you had a 24 and a 12, because that 12 replaces a 6. So Galdor and Diana, you notice that there seems to be a ripple forms in the surface of the water momentarily, and then kind of, it's hard to tell, but slinking out of the water with a bush kind of blocking it on their side, so it's hard to see, which is why Rhea and Oak don't really notice it. You see a large creature, another large creature, and let me open up. Yep, that's that page, so I can read this description and let you know. You see a large snake-like creature whose face seems to be semi-humanoid. but it's like a cross between human and snake on the face. It is hooded like a hooded cobra, and it is quite large.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm assuming everyone is in the right location on the map. Like we're in the wildlands.
I don't know. Are
Like
you?
OCC. I was gonna say, me being me, would I have a previous knowledge since I live in the wildlands? Would I know what this is?
You haven't necessarily been to this part of the wildlands. If this is the part of the wildlands, you haven't really been to the desert area of the wildlands, so you don't know if this is it or not.
I
But
tried.
but what you do know, I would like anyone who is let's see, what kind of anyone who is proficient in history.
Nope.
Hmm.
Or I'll also do Arcana.
Fuck yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll that.
Nature will come up.
I don't know shit.
I am.
Hey, does anyone need me to do a medicine check on them?
Okay. So Rhea got a 7, and no one else has Arcana or History that they are proficient in.
Hang on, you said a history? That's me. Hang on. I have
Okay.
history.
All right.
Not me.
Not bad. So you get a 13 overall because of the disadvantage. So even in your exhausted state, you did notice both creatures. And you do know, mostly because Jacob, who is also pretty worn out, and you kind of pointed out to him and you discuss back and forth briefly that what you are looking at is some type of guardian naga and
I was right.
and an androsphinx. And both of these creatures are very powerful.
Yeah, you don't fight these. You riddle with
And
these.
as you look their way, kind of remaining where you are, all of a sudden the androsphinx turns its gaze over towards your group.
Don't.
And that is where we will end for the evening.
Yeah, do not fight a sphinx. You riddle with a sphinx.
Let's make friends with it.
And you convince a naga through some form of music.
Okay. So that is where we are ending for tonight.
This is all me.
Yep. I want to thank anyone who has watched the stream. Hopefully, been working very hard on fixing the sound issues, and for those of you who didn't hear in the beginning, if I can't remember if I said in the beginning, but I want to put a very large thank you to Rhea for helping me with that. We pretty sure we finally got our sound issues worked out, so that hopefully from now on into the future we are not going to have any more of those problems, and things are going to continue on with lots of fun, entertainment, and good times by all. So thanks everyone, and we hope to see you again next week, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, people.
Bye-bye.